Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is the Gentleman's Debate podcast.
It's that time again.
It is that time again. How are you doing, you beautiful, beautiful people? Myself is Simon. The man over to my front is Sam Carter. And the man behind the scenes, who no one knows what he looks like, but everyone knows what he sounds like, is Josh Simpson.
Yo, yo. But, you know...
Does that mean Josh is some sort of pornographic stick? Top Gear stick?
Pornographic... I thought you said pornographic stick. Not stig.
Stigger.
Stigger. Stigger.
I mean, you say no one's seen me, but I did put in the photo of me in our last podcast.
Did you?
Oh,
yeah.
ruin the illusion.
I didn't see that. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
I kind of just wanted to... Well, at least everyone can see your happy little face.
I remember you taking the selfie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait, so you actually spliced that into the...
Yeah.
Which bit was that in, sorry? For people who want to see your face.
It was episode 28, wasn't it?
Episode 28. How far in do you know, roughly?
About 15 minutes.
15 minutes in. Don't skip it. Just watch till 15 minutes. Then see his face and then do what you want.
Speaking of, Yacht Video Pro.
Yes. We'll do the plug now. Let's get the plug out the way.
That was one of the lesser pornographic...
We can't really. We really actually need to get off of that because I think
Yacht
that
Video Pro.
I think Josh has been contacted by a porn company, and he I think there is contract negotiation going on, but unfortunately he might have to turn it down because they're not really giving him what he needs, and by that I mean a strong shaft.
I should be so lucky.
Lucky. I should be so lucky in love.
First, when you said that he's been contacted by a pornographic company,
yeah.
I actually thought that was genuinely true for a second.
Oh, it's true. No, it's completely true, mate. It's completely true that he's been contacted by a pornographic company. It's xxxvideos.com. They've contacted him. They want to see if he can do Yorkshire slags.
That'd be a great show.
But he's
just been stuffed in Salvation, boys!
Shout
out to Salvation.
Shout out to Salvation in York.
If you want to sponsor us, you know.
No, well, don't get mad at us. Come on.
Don't think they want to anymore.
No, definitely not. But Josh works. He has his own company, which is a video production and photography company called York Video Productions Limited. It's not limited, is it?
No, it's not.
It will be limited in the future. But his website is yorkvideopro.com or .co.uk. Facebook is York Video Pro.
York Video Production.
Oh, for God's sake.
We should know this. We've done it now.
We've done it loads of times. And then
Twitter and Instagram.
At York Video Pro.
York Video Pro.
So you can see a lot of Josh's work. You can see his photography skills, especially on Instagram.
You can also hire me.
You can also hire him. His email is on his own website, so you can have a look at it. You can also see our entire portfolio of work on there, so you can see how Josh has done all of his work, and then you can contact him accordingly. But today we will be focusing on our new debate topic, which we'll do the random generator the wheel of no copyright, because I can't really say Wheel of Fortune anymore. Oh wait, hang on, I just did. What a shame.
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. But we'll be doing a new topic which is randomly generated that me and Sam will have to argue, where Josh will do a coin flip, but we'll also give you the details of our poll to do with our last debate of Star Wars versus Star Trek. We'll do that in a second. But first of all, we're going to do a little catch-up, see how everyone's doing. Obviously, we might talk about the approach that the porn company made to Josh.
This is genuinely true.
Yeah, it's true, mate. It's genuinely true.
It's not true.
It's true. Come on, it's true. I think if we just kept going there'd be a
we
porn...
could have made something up.
A porn company definitely would have been like, fuck, we should really contact this guy.
I can't just do porn, guys.
Yeah, you can't just do porn when you're holding it with one hand. Anyway. I'll tell a little story of my week, as I had a largely stressful week. Work was a bit stressful. Personal life was a little bit stressful as well. But there's glory sometimes in this world. And my glory was seeing a very excitable little dachshund want to cuddle me.
Yes.
Now, if you don't know what a dachshund is, it's a tiny little sausage dog. It's like a little sausage dog, floppy ears. But this one wasn't like the thoroughbred black and brown one.
Yeah.
It was a speckled one.
Oh, right.
So it's brown and speckly on its back. And with me and my girlfriend, we went to Drake's Fish and Chip Shop which is on Petergate for anyone from York. And we went in there because we'd finished work on Friday and we were like, you know what, fuck this, we're going to get some fish and chips. Unfortunately, Lily couldn't have any because of her dietary requirements, but I could. And there's a woman outside with the Dachshund. I went, oh no, I pointed out to my girlfriend, oh look, there's the little Dachshund, because I have to point out dogs to my girlfriend.
It's not only like it's
a requirement.
That is a requirement of life.
It's a requirement of being in a couple.
It's one of those things that I always say about people. You don't trust these people. People who don't like dogs, people who don't like pizza, and people who don't like Friends, the TV show. We'll
get onto that because there's been a big thing in the news about Friends being on Netflix now, but I'll come on to that in a second.
Oh, yes, that was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
I'll come into that in a second. But we were waiting in the fish and chips place, and I went for a splash deal, just to plug Drake's fine choice of menu. Often you can go to Drake's, actually, on Petergate in York, and you can order a £2.95. For £2.95p, you can have a portion of chips, quite a big portion, I'd like to point out, a sausage, and you can have that battered or not battered, and then you can have your choice of sauce. Now, I went for curry sauce because I love curry sauce, and I went for a non-battered sausage because I didn't feel like I wanted to eat the batter.
Scraps or no scraps?
I didn't fancy scraps. I didn't fancy. That's not to say I don't like it. I just didn't fancy it. I didn't want the batter, mate.
Fair enough.
But on that time, I didn't want it, but I do like scraps. What I will say is Drake's is a unique fish and chip shop because they still cook their chips in beef dripping. Ooh, which is literally just fat from a cow. So sorry, vegans. And vegetarians as well. Sorry, I have to bring that back. But the Dachshund went from like the woman had it on the leash, and then it kind of tried to get in one door, and then dragged the woman. Obviously, it couldn't physically drag her, but the woman was like, oh, and dragged it. And then it came up the other steps and came right in, and then it came to cuddle me, and I stroked it, and it was very soft and very cute. But then the woman went, it's all right, he just wants chips. I was like, that's a Dachshund through and through. All he wants is chips. But then his male owner came out, and then he went up to the male owner, and he was like jumping up at him and being all cute. And I was just like, oh, I love that little dog. I want that dog so much.
I want a whole army of dogs.
I'll tell you my perfect dog family. That is, I'll have a beagle.
Yep.
Called Toby. Yeah, and he's going to be sporty dog, so you can take him for like runs and walks in the wood.
Yep.
And then I'll have one Dachshund, which is a thoroughbred one, like a black and brown one. Not thoroughbred as in they've got fucking congenital diseases, but like a normal looking Dachshund, which will be called Daisy. Little Daisy.
I used to have a Labrador called Daisy.
Oh,
yeah. That's greatest cute dog ever.
And then I'd have a final Dachshund, the speckled kind, called Rosie.
Oh.
And then them two would be best friends.
Yeah.
But then Toby would come in, and then they'd all play fight, and then they'd all cuddle at night.
I would literally have an army of dogs. I've got mine as well. So we'd have a Dachshund, me and my missus, and it would be one of the black and brown ones.
Yeah.
And she wanted to call it Stanley.
Oh, that's so cute.
Because Stan Lee.
Okay, right.
Stanley,
From Marvel.
Yeah.
Good.
We'd have a pug.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm always worried about pugs though, because they've got the issue with their breathing.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with pugs.
Yeah,
and also, that I think Mickey said this before, but they can't mate normally. Their hips don't open up wide enough, their back hips.
Weird.
Yeah, they can't get the full hump.
So someone has to help them breathe.
York Video Productions, ladies and gentlemen.
We get the full hump.
We get the full hump. Not half hump. We're not half humpers.
Also,
I should say that Mickey's not here again, unfortunately, because he's ill.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. So unfortunately, you won't be getting the Eastern Death's fine comedy stylings.
Get well soon, Eastern Death.
Yeah, get well soon, Eastern Death.
Stay strong.
Yeah, stay strong, my friend.
Yes. So I'd have a little pug as well.
Yep.
And this is a weird one. I don't know why. I just decided one day I'd have a pug called Sir Bellamy Puggington, the first of his name.
How would you call it though?
Probably just Bellamy.
Right, so it's probably just going to be called Bellamy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't like that. If I'm honest, mate, that's too much fuss. Taking out the vet would be a bitch.
And then I'd have 2 Labradors.
So you have 4 dogs?
Oh, God. I would have more than 4 dogs if it was humanly possible. Well, it is humanly possible if my financial situation would allow.
Okay.
I'd have 2 Labradors, one Labrador Retrievers, one black, one golden. Black one would be called Angelus. The golden one would be called Spike. After the Buffy characters.
Are you into Buffy?
It's my favourite TV show.
Oh. Did you like Angel?
Yeah.
I like Buffy, didn't like Angel.
I just see them all as one big series. That's the way I like to look at them.
It's a combined universe, I guess.
Yeah. So I just they are by far my favourite pieces of television ever.
Star Trek Next Generation for me. It is Star Trek Next Generation, and that does bring us on. Actually,
It's got to be Breaking Bad for me.
Breaking Bad.
Oh,
you
yes.
like?
It's a good choice. It's a good choice. Breaking Bad is incredible.
I don't know. I don't know if
Really?
I don't know if it passes the cult classic thing yet. Like it needs. We need to go another like 5 years, and if people are still watching it, then I go.
I think they are. Well, yeah.
I think it just needs more time.
To me, it doesn't matter if it's a cult classic or not. It's still.
Do you think they're going to come
one of
back
the greatest
and
shows
do
I've
Breaking
seen.
Bad again?
Well,
Finish.
they're doing Better Call Saul.
But yeah,
I did not enjoy Better Call Saul.
I started watching Better
And
Call Saul now.
I stuck to it.
Before it even started and they announced that they were doing it, I was like, this isn't needed. They don't need to do this.
Oh no, definitely not.
Saul's character was perfect as it was in Breaking Bad. You knew everything you needed to know about him, and his obviously I can't remember the guy's name who plays him.
Oh, can you find out who that guy is?
Yeah,
Bob Odenkirk.
that's the one. Yes,
Good memory. Well done,
Yeah.
Josh.
I know a lot about
his performance as Saul in Breaking Bad originally was just absolutely perfect, and I just
They all did. Everyone did really well in that TV series.
I think the unsung hero of Breaking Bad is actually the woman who plays Skylar.
Yeah,
Because
massively.
she was like, she reminded me of the woman who played Sherry Palmer in 24, as in the actresses did such a good job because they really make you fucking hate them.
They really do.
They really
You mean
do.
like Lena Headey
Yeah, but to a lesser
in Game
extent,
of Thrones? Because she, when it comes to
people walk down the street, don't they? When she's walking down the street, people just turn around and just like, oh,
Shame.
you're an absolute bitch. I hate you.
Some people go shame.
Yeah.
I love that. That's the best one. But to be honest, that woman is possibly
Lena Headey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's possibly the greatest actress at being a bitch.
Yeah, she's
even though
fantastic in that show,
she's
yeah.
literally just the nicest person.
Yeah,
So I listened to a
apparently,
podcast
yeah.
with Scroobius Pip, which is Scroobius Pip's Distraction Pieces podcast, and she's just talking. And she's like, I just didn't want to. Everyone thinks I'm a bitch. I'm just really honest. I'm just a really honest person. I just try to be honest with everyone, and I talk exactly like the way I want to talk.
Although I will give you a bit of a funny piece of trivia here. Kind of trivia, but it's like a little about Game of Thrones. Do you remember? And this spoiler alert here. So
Do you haven't watched Game of Thrones,
just
or
skip
you're
this little bit.
which series are you going to talk
The
about?
latest series.
So the newest one, the one that's just shown. So if you
So
want to skip this bit,
This
now.
is your second spoiler alert.
Second spoiler.
I'm going to go into it now. So you know the bit where they all go for that big meeting towards the end of the season, where it's Cersei, Jon Snow, Daenerys, all of them in King's Landing, or just outside of King's Landing.
Yep.
There's that random bit where Bronn and Pod just sort of go, "Shall we go for a drink?" "Yeah, let's go for a drink," and they wander off. That was done because the guy who played Bronn, which is Jerome Flynn.
I'd like to point out.
From Robson and Jerome.
Yeah, he had an entire music career.
Yeah, with Robson Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that when
Right.
I used to really love them when I was about that big.
He also was in Heartbeat, or
Yeah, he's been in loads.
He's been in
Ripper
loads of
Street as well.
ITV shows. He's been
Yeah.
in loads of ITV shows.
But,
you know, he'd be good. Sorry, just before you put him in Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah,
He'd
definitely.
smash the
Yeah,
fuck out of Peaky
absolutely would,
Blinders,
yeah.
wouldn't he? Anyway, sorry.
And I've got another little thing to go on after that
Okay.
as well,
Okay.
which would be interesting. But yeah, Jerome Flynn and Lena Headey used to go out with each other
Yes,
in
they
real
did.
life.
Yes.
And they hate each other that much they refuse to do scenes together. So that's why Bronn had to wander off in that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So I don't know what happened there, guys, but
Somebody did something.
That's more trivia than a spoiler.
I know, but it was just that spoiler of they all
Yeah, that's
congregate, don't they? Because people might not
yeah.
know that bit yet.
She's a really interesting character. She's doing the voiceover now for Mercedes.
Oh yeah, she is.
So I'd just go. If I was her, I'd just be going, money, 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 because doing the voiceover for a massive company like Mercedes.
And then I just go into my other bit there when you're saying about Peaky Blinders. I watched a video yesterday, top 10 Tom Hardy performances, and they didn't give number 1 to Alfie Solomons.
That's fine.
I think that's his best role that he's done and his best performance. They gave number 1 to Bane, which
in terms of the voice,
it was good,
yeah.
But you couldn't actually see his performance because of the mask.
He doesn't need it. But it's like he doesn't need it. I think he's going
to... Obviously, he wasn't a very, very intimidating presence. But to be honest, the list was total bullshit anyway, because they gave, I think, the number 2 spot or number 3 spot to a film that he did called Lock, where the whole film is him in a car.
Yes.
And it is fucking boring. Everyone raved about it, say it was like one of the best films ever. It's like, no, it was terrible. And they said, actually, at the end of the video, at the end of the little segment on that video for Locke, they went, and who doesn't love that Welsh accent? And I went, well, me, because he doesn't do a Welsh accent.
Yeah.
He sounds Indian throughout the entire film. No offense, Tom Hardy, you're one of the best actors going at the moment, and a lot of your accents are absolutely spot on. But you can't do Welsh.
I'll tell you what he was brilliant in, and a lot of people sleep on him for it, was, did you watch Taboo?
I haven't watched that yet. I really need to see it.
You need to watch it, mate.
And I remember quite a few years ago when he did Martina Cole's The Take.
Yeah.
He was a vicious bastard in that. He was absolutely brilliant in that.
He's a fantastic...
Yeah.
When it comes to his
that only got an honourable mention. It was Watch Mojo.
Oh, I don't trust them.
I usually am quite...
I don't trust them.
I usually like Watch Mojo videos. I've subscribed and I love watching their videos, but you got that one wrong.
No,
sorry, Watch Mojo.
There's some stuff that they're not very accurate on.
Some stuff, yeah. But...
For example, they did top 10 guns or assault rifles on the planet. And to be completely blunt, I know a shit ton about guns.
What did they put as number 1?
AK-47.
Did they put AK-47 as number 1?
It's not actually.
It's not very accurate, is it? It's basically for covering fire.
It's no, it's an assault weapon. So it's assault rifle.
I know nothing.
It performs the first part of the name very well, but the second part it does not. So it's not very, as you said, it's not very accurate. But what it's designed to do is short range mowing fuckers down.
Yeah.
But if you want to use it at extended ranges, you can't.
What would you say is number 1 then?
Probably it would be a 7.62 round. So the AK-47 fires a larger caliber round than like the M16, which fires a 5.56. But 5.56 is more plentiful now. But I would say it'd have to be a 7.62, and it probably would be something like the Galil. A lot of people don't even know what a Galil is, but it's literally like a...
I'm going to Google it.
The Galil is a 7.62 assault rifle, which I think the Israelis make it, and it's basically a better version of the AK-47.
How do you spell it?
Galil.
Oh, is that it? I
yeah,
had it right.
Literally it.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
It's been in like Call of Duty for games and stuff like that. So most people know it from Call of Duty games and stuff like that. But it's basically an AK-47 on steroids. It's more durable. It can take more of a beating. It fires faster, I think, and it's a much more accurate weapon. And it's been updated recently by the Israelis. So fuck it.
I'm one of those people that only know guns from like Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
P90, mate.
It's totally fine.
Fucking RP. MP5. Red dot. Stuff.
Well, the
P90 red dot. Come on.
When it comes to gaming, I'd say
ACOG was a piece of shit.
Silencer.
My favorite game when it came like a first-person shooter, when it comes to like favorite ever, would be Battlefield 3.
Battlefield is incredible. Or, as I like to call it, Banterfield.
Banterfield. Why do you like to call it that?
Because I don't know. We just sort of adopted it when because I used to play it online with my cousins.
Yeah.
And it was just I'm fucking terrible at gaming.
Yeah.
I am absolutely dreadful at it.
I'm alright.
But and I used to get quite frustrated when I was playing games. I was good at COD 4. What a game!
Yeah.
I was half decent at Halo 3 when that came out.
Yeah.
And I used to play that online with a few of my school friends. But everything else, I'm just fucking terrible at it. But we used to go on Banterfield, and even though I was so shit, I just had such a good time playing it because we were just the bands.
I loved sniping in that.
To be honest,
Sniping in that was amazing.
every Battlefield game is just...
Yeah, they knock it out of the park. Most of the time.
No, they don't knock it out of the park. They've been slipping recently.
No.
I'd say
do you not play-
Battlefield Hardline.
Did you not play
I enjoyed that.
Battlefield 4? World War 1?
You mean Battlefield 1?
Battlefield 1, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Battlefield
That was
3.
quality.
Battlefield 3 was quite good. I'd say it's possibly towards the top end. The best one of the franchise probably was Battlefield Bad Company 2. Because the gameplay was just amazing. The graphics is terrible compared to now.
Right.
Then it's Battlefield 3. And then I would probably go like Battlefield 4. And then the problem is the more recent ones like Battlefield Hardline. I didn't enjoy that at all. The campaign was really terrible. The gameplay of it was not good because there was a time where basically you couldn't do a lot of the stuff. You couldn't do a lot of the game modes. Like the really good game mode, which was the ones where you drove around in the cars. And they were the capture points. Instead of the flags, it was cars. You had to hold on to cars and trucks and drive them around, and whoever had them longest accumulated the most tickets. But you could have a perk where it allowed you to have a rocket launcher in the back of your car when you spawned in. So everyone had a fucking rocket launcher straight away.
Yeah.
So they just blast everyone. Then Battlefield 1, I feel like they could have done it even further. There was another layer that the progression system wasn't good. They changed a lot of the main game modes, so rushes kind of disappeared. Conquest, they changed the scoring system. Instead of bleeding tickets when you kill people, or bleeding the tickets that you already had down because you're capturing points, it's that you earned tickets, and the killing of people didn't have any impact on it. So it's just about scoring points, about holding onto the flags. So it didn't actually incentivize you to go and kill people on the game, obviously, not in real life. So there's just there was issues with that. And also, I think the aesthetics of the game and the sound engine, that's it. They're absolutely peerless. No one, I don't think anyone is as close to them in terms of aesthetical.
Definitely.
The aesthetics of the entire engine, and also the sound.
First person shooter
insane.
wise, I'll just in game in general.
I'd probably say gaming in general.
Witcher 3.
Good point. That's a good point. Or Crytek.
I don't know what that is.
Like Crysis.
Yeah, Crysis.
Oh, right, okay.
Crytek engine, which the Crysis games, they were aesthetically, but the problem was that to run them, you had to have a beast of a
Crysis
fucking...
1 was a bit...
Do you know what I'm still getting annoyed about? There still is no information on the Witcher Netflix series that they're doing, the live action one.
They might not do it. They might not do it.
Nah, they're going through with it.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
They might be doing their fucking Solo, where they're just not doing any advertising for it whatsoever, and then
Quite possibly,
they'll
yeah.
unleash it on the planet, and then everyone goes, fuck!
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm thinking is going to happen with Solo. I think it's going to be such a dark horse, because it's had so much fucking problems.
It's been under controversy recently.
Oh, what for?
Because the posters...
What isn't under controversy nowadays?
Yeah, we'll get onto Friends because that's
Yeah.
a good segue into Friends in a second.
There's an artist that did some artwork for some album covers and stuff, and
Yeah.
they look exactly like the Solo posters.
Oh no! So they might get a copyright infringement case against them.
Disney might, yeah.
That's that could really fuck them, because that means that all revenue from Solo, technically, because the posters are advertising for the film, all revenue that company earns, if it's tied to the poster, that guy could win. So he could go.
Still be a drop in a pond.
Only
or drop in an ocean for Disney.
For Disney, they could.
There you go. There's a couple of million. Be silent.
Yeah, I would just. you could give him $2 million, and they wouldn't even blink a fucking eye about it.
They could probably give him 10 and they wouldn't blink.
I'd heard on a different...
Probably give him 100 million and they wouldn't blink.
that Black Panther was under controversy as well.
Oh fucking! What for now?
Because they asked if they could use like an artist artwork. Like they asked the artist a couple of times, and the artist said no, but they went ahead and used it anyway.
See,
Well, that's just being stupid.
That's really dumb.
Yeah,
that's really dumb. That's stupid. Here's something that's been going on with Friends, and then we'll go on to the details of the poll to do with Star Trek versus Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen. Friends has recently been in the news because, and I'm going to quote the title of it. Millennials, inverted commas, have been finding Friends offensive. Because of the they said of the fat shaming of Monica, of the
Homophobic jokes about Chandler.
Yeah, the homophobia, And what else is it?
It's the trans, because Chandler doesn't accept his dad at first.
Oh yeah, trans as well. There's a lot of hate against Chandler, I feel like.
Honestly, I fucking hate millennials at this point.
Well, we are millennials.
Yeah, technically we are. I fucking hate the term millennials.
We're not technical. We're smack bang in the middle.
I hate the term, but it's just like just because of what it's associated with.
Yeah, but
it's not millennials. It's not. So I'm going to cut it down at its knees straight away. It's not millennials. It's never been about millennials. These are just trolls. These are just trolls. Very vocal people on websites and online. Who basically are willing to say stuff.
They wake up in the morning and they go,
piss
what
people
can
off.
I be offended about today?
Yeah, they just want
basically, Friends is a show of its time.
It's a 90s TV show.
Yeah.
It's like if I went back to there was a TV show that was made in Britain to do with, I've forgotten the fucking name of it, and it pisses me off. Sorry, no, I'll go for this example. Boys of the Black Stuff, which is about Liverpudlians during there was a big economic crisis during like the 70s or 80s, and basically they all became unemployed. And they basically there was a lot of stuff like they wanted jobs and they were having to do like they used to work on doing all the motorways.
Yeah. So
that's why they're called Boys of the Black Stuff, because they used to tarmac basically most of the country. And then they couldn't get any jobs after that because of like strikes and all sorts of shit like that. But if you look at that now, some of the actors weren't Liverpudlian. Some were, definitely, but some of them weren't. So you could say like, oh, well, they were racially appropriating the culture of Liverpudlians. That's not going to happen, though, because it's white people. And apparently you can't be offended about white people impersonating white people. And also you can't say about the racial slurs that happen, because there's a lot of Liverpudlian, like, people taking the mick out of Liverpudlians, etc. during that thing. There's another TV show that happened in Britain that was about... a black family moving in next door to a white family, and about how the white family had problems with that, and they used there was racist terms used in that. I'm not going to repeat them, so I've forgotten the fucking name of it, which pisses me off. But it's like using like similar to the N-word, basically, is a lot of terms that they used. That is offensive now. But back then, that's literally the use of it, and also it was a very good dissection of how people in Britain were racist, but then about how they eventually learnt not to be. But it's almost like people in Britain, we accept this shit because we go, okay, that's them showing us that this is what people used to be like, or this is what happened, or this is what is happening now. In America, it's like you can't say anything for fear of offending somebody on the extreme left.
That's what's coming over here as well.
They're just trolls.
It's coming over here massively.
It is coming over here, and I hate that. And we're not American. I had hosted a few drinks at my place on Friday night, and I see. No invite. Me and Josh didn't get an invite.
It was a cousins' night.
No.
Are you my cousins?
I don't care.
Are you my cousins?
Yes.
Really?
I think we should just do this podcast by ourselves, Josh, for an hour.
But
I'm not happy. No.
But this is it. It was meant to be a cousins' night.
Oh, here we go.
And one person, I won't say who it was.
Was it one of your cousins?
No. It was my sister. She invited one of her friends along. Bloody sister. And then this person was just... It's not like they're going to listen to it. They might. And this particular person was one of those people who just seemed to be offended by almost everything.
Yeah, I've met them. It's just it's an attention-seeking thing.
And it was just like, dude, just stop. The world... These people, like you say, they are either trolls or...
It's attention-seeking a lot of the time.
Attention-seeking. Or they literally have this view of the world where everything is black and white. You're either one thing or the other. And it's like, no, the world is... the complete opposite. It is multiple shades of grey.
It's nuanced.
50, perhaps, the Video Pro.
It's a nuanced level of shit that's going on in our planet.
But the Friends thing is just it's
ridiculous.
Pathetic.
So when somebody's
the show is absolutely incredible. The jokes, some of them don't stand the test of time, but on the whole, the jokes absolutely stand the test of time. Friends is one of those shows where you can watch it over and over and over and over and over again, and you still piss yourself laughing, even if you know exactly what's coming.
Yeah, definitely.
But they actually asked Matt LeBlanc about it, and his essential reply was, "Fuck off."
He doesn't. Do you think he gives a? Do you think, ladies and gentlemen, do you really think Matt LeBlanc gives a fuck about your opinion?
No.
He doesn't give a fuck about anyone's opinion apart from maybe his family.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about other people's opinions unless I care about them.
His exact thing was just like, I think it's something like, I don't see it. I think, Friends was just it was just great writing.
Was perfect
all
comedy
the way
writing.
through.
Comedy sitcom writing.
And I
is
think it's
perfect.
essentially like, I'm just paraphrasing this, but I think it was just like people just pick stuff to be offended by nowadays, and that's the only thing that's happening here.
Here's another level of controversy to do with trolls. Do you know what Kekistan is? People of Kek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know who Kekistan? No. Kek. Okay. So there's an internet community who call themselves the people of Kekistan, which basically is just a troll like country that just made up. And then the flag it's a green. If you Kekistan flag, it basically is like a green flag with a white cross kind of offset to the left hand side, then with a black edge in, and then it's got like a K's in a circular shape. It's basically just for people who are trolls. It's like, you know, Pepe the Frog.
Yeah.
He's associated with people of Kek because it's just basically an internet troll community who just like to just chat shit and just do it. You know what they're associated with now? The alt-right and neo-Nazis. But they're not. Most of the people who are involved aren't involved in it. Now, controversy happened twice with this flag. One, it was introduced into Destiny 2. Right. And basically Destiny 2 had to remove that flag and any armor that had the flag on it because people said it was for neo-Nazis. So poor old fucking Activision were like, what the fuck? What? We're just trying to cater to our young audience, who often these people really know who Kek is.
Yeah.
But then there's another level where a under 16 football team, like 5-a-side or 6-a-side football team, had the flag and they had a photo. And then they all got accused of being neo-Nazis. Even though they're fucking 16 years old, they're not neo-Nazis. They're not even from fucking Germany. They're like from Finland or something.
Yeah.
They get accused of this.
This is the thing though, like, this is a bit of a bold statement, but it's true. Things like, you know, calling someone a Nazi now, it's actually watered down what being a Nazi actually is. Because it's just like, someone doesn't agree with your opinion on something, you're a Nazi. And it's just like, what?
It'd be better.
It waters down something. I mean, the fucking Nazis are just.
If you
that is an extreme thing to call someone.
If you want to know how to properly assess like that, you need to go and if you want to know the difference and why you were wrong, if you call people that,
yourself.
Is one, you need to go and explore your own country's history in association with World War II.
Yep.
Second, you need to go and listen to any podcast to do with Jordan Peterson, because Jordan Peterson details exactly how our modern society is slipping towards, and this is weird, our modern society is slipping back towards a time where communism and fascism can possibly come back because of stuff like treat people like equals.
Yeah. And
there is no difference genetically between men and women, and everyone has.
Is that a thing people say?
Yeah, so let's not get into that today. Let's not get into that today. And also other shit like you know, like cultural appropriation and stuff like that. You're literally, what you're doing is you're slowly sidling into that and then calling people, because like calling somebody a Nazi, that's what a communist says. Mm-hmm. You're a Nazi, you're a fascist. That's what they used to say in 1936 in Germany when there was communist versus Nazi fights in the streets over who had superiority politically. And they would say, you're a Nazi, you're a fascist, you're a communist, you're a socialist. And they'd throw these words round to try and make people think that they weren't something that they were. Mm. And then eventually people rose to power who had the drive, the focus, and also ulterior motives and almost pure evil. But these are the people, these sort of characters who are very charismatic, is because they're very charismatic because they completely believe in what they want. And what they wanted was very dark. And that eventually, if we continue on this path where we don't respect people's individuality, which is a very important thing, not everyone's the same. No one ever will be the same. No. You are not the same athletically as LeBron James. You will not be able to dunk.
I'm so much better.
LeBron James is genetically superior to you.
Yes.
Completely. Serena Williams is genetically superior to me at tennis. Mm-hmm. She has morphed her body in a way that means she can play tennis fantastically better than I probably ever could.
Well, just put it this way, just straight down to me and you. If we went at it in an MMA bout, you'd probably kick my ass.
I'd elbow you. I'd take you down.
If we went into a football match, I'd kick your ass.
I'm actually a pretty good goalie. A lot of people don't know this. I'm actually quite a good goalie.
Be interesting. We all need to get out of a game of football.
I don't do well outside of the goal.
Yeah, well, you can go and goal.
No, we don't.
No, because we'll dislocate fucking your kneecaps.
Yep, probably.
Well, it's like the one.
But it's all this.
I'm in a group of friends, and none of them like. I'm the only one who likes football.
Yeah, but I'm the only one who likes rugby, and I'm the only one who likes mixed martial arts.
Rugby. I like rugby.
Okay.
Yay, sports.
Yeah, and you just like.
I think we're the only two sporty people in the group.
Yep, that's my sport.
Yeah, we are.
Let's check that. Here's a weird thing. You'd think that there'd be like, you know how like we're two blokes who like sport. I thought we'd have like a friend who's like a girl who likes sport, because I've got friends in Scarborough who love sport, but specific sports. Like I've got a friend, and this is a story I'll tell before we get onto the fucking poll.
Yeah.
And get away from our segue. There's a girl I used to.
5 minutes into it.
It's
a late start.
There's a girl who I know who went to the Royal Ballet School, college, whatever it is. She's just a fantastic dancer, and she's really into dance, so she knows everything about dance and everything like that. She came back to Scarborough when I was in there way back a couple of years ago when I was at university, and we were on a night out in our favourite bar, and then basically what happened was some guy, I think, reached up her dress and felt her arse. And she is an interesting character because she has basically a flip switch when it comes to anger. And she went full red alert straight away. And what happened was she spun round and pulled his arm away with her left hand. And with her right hand, she took her hand, and the way she was stood where the toilets were, and then there was like a pillar up where you'd go through past to go to the toilets.
Yep.
And then he was stood up against that pillar. She slammed her hand against his neck and picked him up against there. Because she's a ballet dancer. A lot of people don't know this. Even if you're a ballet dancer who's 100 pounds or less, they're exceptionally strong humans because they train every single day to pick other humans up.
It's like pole dancing.
Pole dancing should be
strength you have to pole dance.
Yep.
Shout out to all the pole dancers out there.
Yeah, massive respect. It's like
no, like not in a seedy way. Like seriously,
massive respect.
I have seen videos of there was a video that I can't remember how I think it just popped up on Facebook or something like that, and there was just these two women. One of them was holding onto the pole, and the other one was like sideways with the feet, and they were both spinning round. And I was just like,
it's insane.
How the mental? Sorry, go on.
She had him pinned up and lifted him off his feet. And he's not a small bloke as well. He's probably a little bit bigger than me. And me and all my friends, we were just having a laugh. We didn't. And then I turned, looked, and was like, "Oh fuck!" But I didn't say anything. And then all my friends turned, and we all were like, "Oh my god!" The bouncer came, and then I think she tried to punch him. So yeah, she tried to punch him in the face with her other hand.
I'm not surprised.
She's not left-handed. She's right-handed, which is why she picked him up like that. I think she tried to punch him, but we were all pretty drunk. And then the bouncer came in. The bouncers came down because they saw it on the CCTV and fucking dragged him out and filled him in outside. And then she went up to the bar, and the barman just was like, "The drinks are on us. Don't worry." Because apparently that guy's a creep. Apparently that guy's a big creep.
Right.
He'd been doing it quite a while. He's banned, I think, from nightclubs or bars in Scarborough now. So yeah, a top tip for anyone: don't go feeling people up. There you go. Yeah, anyone, don't touch anyone unless they ask you to.
I mean, that shouldn't even be a tip. That should just be common
That should how you
sense.
live your fucking life. And anyway, we'll now move on.
If they ask you to, then
yes, exactly.
all in.
Exactly.
Yacht Video Pro.
We'll now move on to our poll to do with Star Wars versus Star Trek. I think we're all going to accept.
I just put it out there? It's no surprise. I have my first loss.
Yeah, you got fucked.
I got annihilated.
You got fucked on that.
Yeah.
And that's because I think that it fell favourably for me. But if it had been Star Trek, I would have fought you fucking tooth and nail for it.
Yeah,
100%. But the polls have also confirmed our suspicions of how we thought people would have thought with us. Facebook was 90% Star Wars, 10% Star Trek. We have 2 people voting for Star Trek. And Twitter was much closer, though.
Yeah,
60% Star Wars,
yeah.
40% Star Trek. It was an interesting one on Twitter. I was a bit surprised by that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for voting on our polls. Obvious win for Star Wars and a win for myself. I'm on the board.
Woo!
Yes. And today we're going to do our next debate.
Yep.
Which Josh is going to do our random generator wheel of non-copyright Fortune, as we'll call it.
We'll spin it now.
The wheel of Fortune, as we're not allowed to say the actual thing. Hashtag copyright laws.
Okay. Sure.
Spin it. We need like a little drum roll or something.
Today's debate is the worst sitcom in TV history.
Oh, fuck no.
So are we picking
You pick your own. Yeah.
Oh.
The worst sitcom in TV history. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the worst one I've ever seen. Okay, I've got it. No, I've got it. I know. I've got it. I've got it sorted.
I've got mine.
I've got it sorted.
I think I know what yours is.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, do you want to go first?
Okay, I'm going with The Big Bang Theory.
Ooh. Do you know what mine is?
Go on.
Everybody Loves Raymond. Yeah.
What?
I absolutely hate it. I've got a burning passion for Everybody Loves Raymond. Hey, mate. Big Bang Theory is... People love that show.
I used to watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
I love
I used to
Everybody
watch
Loves
it.
Raymond.
Like, before school.
Yeah.
I used to watch it
'Cause
before
it was
school
on
as well.
every morning, yeah.
That's why. That's literally why. It was on every fucking morning. And I will say, some of those characters are the most irritating fuckers on the planet.
Yeah, but
His mum, his wife, his brother. Raymond himself is a little bitch. That's
Oh,
all I'm gonna,
his brother was
That's my
great.
start. I'm going to start an argument straight away. Raymond, number one. Raymond. It's all about Raymond, isn't it? Little cunt. It's all about him, innit?
Go straight in there.
Innit? Right. Raymond is a meek little mummy's boy. I can't stand his character. He is not bold or funny or smart. He's not anything. He's just this fucking meek, quiet Italian man who gets bullied by his mother. Now we move on to his mother. His mother is, admittedly, the actress is fantastic, by the way, and this is probably the reason why I have such a hatred for the mother. She is shrill, irritating, pestering, but she's always right. She's always right. It doesn't matter which way you go, she's always motherfucking right.
Are you saying that she is always right, as in
It's
she
annoying.
She always thinks she's right, or
No,
she
she's
always
always
ends up
right.
being
She's always right.
Okay.
She always ends up being right. And she's manipulative and she's overbearing, but she's always right. And that's the irritating bit, is that she's never wrong. And everything is perfect in her world. Everything is exactly perfect in her world. And that pisses me the fuck off, because I hate perfection. And she always has it's almost like she has a problem with Raymond's wife. She has like a stinging problem, like Raymond's wife stole Raymond from her. But that's a weird, because then you get into this weird sort
like
of
a lot of mothers in real life with their sons.
It's weird,
wives.
yeah, but then it gets a bit weird because it's like mother-son relationships that are too close are freaky as well, and that we don't need to get into like a fucking American shit anyway. Third problem I have with Everybody Loves Raymond, the wife, is a fucking complaining, nagging, unsuccessful, inferior character that no one enjoys. People can sympathize, but she's like, okay, the way I put it is, you know the mother in the middle? You wouldn't want to be her, would you? You wouldn't want to be the wife of Raymond, would you? No one wants to be. No one wants to be the wife of Raymond, because you'd have to deal with all the family bullshit. You haven't got any. You basically, all you do is you're a family maker. And I know that sounds nasty in some ways, but it's like all of her passions, all of her all of the things that she could have been dedicated to having to look after Raymond. It's like for some bizarre reason they have this stereotypical like, oh, it's a family and she has to be like a housemaker. When Raymond, what the fuck does Raymond even fucking do for a job?
Sports writer.
He's a sports writer. Well, he's not fucking good at it, is he?
He is. He's actually quite successful.
Is he a successful one in it?
Yeah, he's a
He hasn't
very
got a lot of
successful
money.
one
He
in
hasn't
it.
got a lot of money in the show.
Yeah, he does.
No, does he?
Yeah.
How does he have a lot? No, he doesn't have a lot
It's
of
his
money.
brother that struggles for money because he's a cop.
Oh yeah, I need to go on the brother. I'll go on the brother later. But I can't stand anything about that wife as well, because all she does is nags and complains, and she whines about how her mother, how Raymond's mother acts to her. I'm just like, why the fuck do you care? Why not just be like, look, bitch, I don't give a fuck about you. I've got my own life, got my own shit going on, and eventually you're gonna die. I'm gonna outlive you. You got time, bitch. Time is on your side. Now we move on to Raymond's brother. This is I have a real problem. One thing I'm going to do, right? Whenever he eats, he dabs it to his chin and then puts it in his mouth. What the fuck is that, right? I know it's a foible of the character. I know it's like a weird tick that he has. But what the fuck is wrong with him? What the fuck is wrong with that guy? Don't say you do it. And
No, it clearly just adds to the comedy.
I don't know. I think it's like it's a cheap joke sometimes. It's like a cheap joke that they tack in every so often. It's not like like I'll put it like the guys in Friends. They don't really have like that sort of same thing going on.
How do you mean?
They don't have like a joke that they continuously go back to. It's like it's always a reinvented version. It's not like like he always touches it to his face and then puts it in his mouth.
Joey's dumb.
I don't. Yeah, but it's like
Phoebe's kooky.
Yep.
But it's
Monica's
like,
OCD.
But it's personality traits.
Chandler's apparently gay.
But it hashtag millennials.
Rachel's materialistic.
But it's they're the way I'll put it is it's not like a
Ross is the best character.
What's the way I can put it?
Definitely not. No.
I think that's for another time.
How do I put this? It's like do you remember what's the show called? Fucking hell. The black comedian who recently was done for or was in a court case about raping women. In America. Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. One of his big things was him going way, way, like making weird sounds. Yeah. That was.
Zoobity-bobbity, put it in you.
Oh, zoobity-bobbity, dropping drugs on your drink.
Zoobity-bobbity, no consent.
Well, we're definitely not getting monetized on this one.
Fucking I think we're gonna have a big contact from Bill Cosby's lawyers.
Leave us alone, millennials.
Yeah, Bill Cosby's a real monster. But anyway, that was his. Like, it always went back to him doing that, and that was his kind of bread and butter joke. It's like Jim Carrey going, "Alrighty then," or like him that. He always went back to that, but it wasn't original. It wasn't fresh. The whole thing going back to him going like. And then eating. They always did it. And I was always like, this is really shit. They always go back to it. So they're going from the same well of... And it's like a cheap laugh to kind of get people ready for the main joke that never came from him. It always came from another character at his expense. Also, he's a very nagging character. Exceptionally nagging. He's got a problem where he thinks his brother is superior to him, even though he's a police officer. He's a fucking police officer who has to deal with violence in New York. He has to police in New York. He's probably been stabbed like 5 times. Oh wait, but my brother, who is loved slightly more by my mother. Oh wait, that's the big problem I have. The fuck is wrong with you? Also, he ends up hooking up with a dime piece. Mm-hmm. His girlfriend is a dime piece. Whilst Raymond's wife is an ugly cow.
I just have to ask.
Go on.
If you hate it so much, why did you watch it every morning before school?
Because it was the only thing on.
Like, I'm sure he doesn't watch Big Bang Theory every morning.
I know.
If the Big Bang Theory goes on in my house, I have to clean the whole place.
So is that how Sam gets you to clean the place then? Just sticks a bit of Big Bang Theory on?
She doesn't put it on.
Okay.
Because
it would enrage you.
It infuriates me, that show.
The reason so in Britain we had it on Channel 4 every morning before basically we would go to school or college or university, whatever.
It was Everybody Loves Raymond and then Just Shoot Me.
And then, but I think before that was Frasier.
That was a sitcom as well.
I don't remember
Just
that.
Shoot Me.
Just Shoot Me sounds a bit Columbine-ish.
David Spade. Is it David Spade? The little guy?
Oh, God. His career is interesting.
Yeah.
They'd always play 2 episodes of Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
7 and 8, I think it was.
And then they did, but before that, they did Frasier, which in all
Frasier
honesty, I wish they'd put Frasier on the main slot. That slot just before school.
Because Frasier. That one out there. Frasier was overrated.
Or Cheers.
Or Cheers. Cheers is good. Cheers was really good.
Yeah.
But the reason why I hated Everybody Loves Raymond, I used to watch it, and and this is the thing, I've grown to hate it. It wasn't an instantaneous hate. So this is a hate that comes from love, which is the worst kind of hate. It's the most passionate. I used to think it was good. I used to enjoy it, and then the hate began. With the foibles of the characters began to really rub me up the wrong way. And it used to wake me up and I would have it so that my TV was set on alarm mode, so it would come on, and then I'd hear, Raymond! And I'd go, ah! As I tried to get out, as I tried to wake up. And I would stare at this family of dysfunctional cunts trying to piece themselves together and wondering, is this what my life will become? And eventually misery overtook me as I would sit inside of my duvet, bringing it up to my neck, wondering, could I kill myself whilst watching this? Would this be the ultimate way of stopping Everybody Loves Raymond?
Are you okay?
Teenage British teenager kills himself whilst watching Everybody Loves Raymond.
So
I honestly, special place in hell. for me, Everybody Loves Raymond, I would put next to Satan himself and say, whatever you want, Satan, do it. I want you to do the most messed up shit you could do to the cast, the directing crew, the fucking film crew. I want them to burn the people who delivered stuff to that fucking place.
So, what's your opinion on the father?
Oh, God, I forget about that character so much.
May he rest in peace. He's dead now.
Rest in peace.
Is he? He's the character who played the dad in Frasier, right?
No.
Oh, I'm confused then. I'm a bit confused. Can you show me a photo of the father and then I'll remember him? To be honest, I've totally forgotten that character.
He was actually the best character, I thought, but...
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I've forgotten. I totally don't know anything about that character. Like, seriously, look, those
all he wanted was food. That was his character summed up. He wanted food.
4 characters that I detailed.
His joke was that he'd always come in and after food he'd unbuckle his belt and undo his trousers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now. I remember that. But I don't remember a lot of his storyline.
That's because his storyline was...
Or script.
I want pie.
or a script.
Give me pie.
I just was like, it was such an irritating show to wake up to in the morning in Britain. There's my argument. And I'm not even going to go to the side of I don't think Big Bang Theory is shit, because I honestly think it is the...
It is what, Simon?
It's what?
Were you just about to say the worst?
It's the modern day equivalent of Everybody Loves Raymond. Everybody Loves Raymond. It's terrible. You've got 4 characters that are just dreadful. Or 5, or whatever the fuck they are.
Keep going, I'm doing really well here.
So, before Sam starts his argument, I must say my opinion. Post Charlie Sheen, 2.5 Men.
Ooh.
So you say Ashton Kutcher?
Ashton Kutcher ruined it. He was fucking terrible.
I'll tell you who really ruined it. When they tried making the Jake, one of the main characters, as like an adult, I was like, no, you should have let him go.
Post Ashton.
He joined the military, and I was like, what? And then they had Miley Cyrus in, and I went, what the fuck is going on? What the hell is going on?
I stopped watching it after.
Charlie Sheen. They should have just had Charlie Sheen. They should have had a camera, like a close-up of him just doing coke. Then that would have been miles better.
Although Charlie Sheen then wanted him to do anger management, which was also fucking terrible.
Yeah,
so is the problem? Is the problem Charlie Sheen, or is it?
No. Well, no, because it was good when Charlie Sheen was. Well, it was decent.
Passable. It was passable
when Charlie Sheen was in 2.5 Men. Yeah,
it was passable.
Right.
Get on Big Bang Theory. Come on. Because I'm kind of with you on this.
Well, what I'm going to start off by saying is that because this is the thing that Big Bang Theory sells itself on. It sells itself on nerd culture, which is a big thing nowadays. I myself, I'm self-confessed, I'm a massive nerd. You come around to my house, you see pop vinyls all over the place. I love my Star Wars, I love my geeky stuff, and this is what Big Bang Theory absolutely sells itself on. And it is not fucking clever in the slightest about it. And yet it gets this massive reputation as being one of the most clever and witty shows on the planet. And I'm going to go, and anyone can YouTube this. YouTube 2 videos, Big Bang Theory, where is the joke? And in this clip, they're all sat about and they're talking about, they're doing a board game or whatever.
Yeah.
That they've invented or something like that, and it's that stupid fucking utter twat Sheldon. I'll go through all the characters individually. Well, not all the characters individually because I don't even know their fucking names.
Just
That's
do
main
characters.
But I'll get onto Sheldon last because he's the one who's apparently the big selling point. Fuck off.
Which one is Sheldon?
I can't remember.
Is he the Jewish one?
The skinny one.
The skinny Jewish one.
I don't bloody know. The main one where
his mum's Christian. In it. She's
sorry, yeah. He's the guy who was...
He's got a spin-off or something, hasn't he?
He's
Sheldon.
He's doing films. He did the... I'm going to give you full ammunition for this when you later do it. Did you see the HP advert he did?
Yeah.
The one where the kid's singing the most annoying song on the planet? Happy, happy, happy for you and me. Happy, happy, happy for all to see. Woo!
Is that where his career's going?
Yeah. He was in a film.
His career's never taken off.
He was in the Muppet film. That was the really recent Muppet film. He was in with Tom Segel.
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel.
Steven Seagal.
Anyway, yeah. So they're all sat about and they're doing a board game, and they're just like, we're going to play on the game of the Iron Throne Star Killer, blah blah blah, reels off a load of names, and it's this guy who's made this video going, where's the joke? all he did was say a bunch of show's name. Where is the joke? And that is literally the clip, right? and this is the people who are fans of the Big Bang Theory talk about how fucking clever it is and how awesome the writing is, and it's just like, no, they just sit there, and this is essentially what the Big Bang Theory does. It goes, ha, Game of Thrones, ha, Star Wars, ha, yes, ha, aren't we big geeks? We're so funny. But they're not. And then there's the other video where it's, and this is the big one that got a lot of traction online. Watch the Big Bang Theory without the laughing track. It is one of the most uncomfortable things. Whereas if you watched Friends, I think they did it side by side with Friends as well, and it was watch Friends without the laughing track, and it's actually quite funny.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Friends was actually done in front of a live studio audience. A lot of the episodes.
Big Bang is what?
The Big Bang
canned.
Theory.
It's canned stuff.
Yep.
Wow.
I must also add, the creator of Big Bang Theory also did 2.5 Men.
He did. It was his name, Chuck.
Chuck Lorre.
Oh right, did he do 2.5 Men as well? So there we go.
Can you bring up Chuck? I think it's Chuck Lorre actually. Is the way to say
like
it.
that.
Can you bring up his list of the sitcoms he does?
Yep.
So then what we can see is his ilk of stuff, his book of work.
Yeah.
And then be like, we can go through it and be like, shit.
But I'll go through like the characters that I can, from what I can remember from whenever I've watched it. So you've got Penny. Her character's story is she's hot.
But she is hot.
No.
She's
not my cup of tea.
She's tasty. I
She's tasty.
Kaylee.
She's tasty.
How do you say it? Kaylee Kukoa? Kuko? I don't know.
Cocaine. Sorry. Have I slipped something out there? I'm sorry.
York Video Pro.
York Video Pro.
So the whole thing about her character is she's hot, and they all want to bone her.
Which they all do.
I don't know.
There's storylines where they all basically fuck her. Yeah, the Asian guy who I forgot the name of.
Raj.
He fucks her. He gets because he can only do it. He can only talk to girls when he's drunk. He starts talking to her, and she gets drunk as well, and then they end up in bed together, and then it pans to them waking up next to each other, and they panic.
Yeah, they don't actually fuck.
I thought they did fuck.
No.
Oh, that's this is come on.
Oh, such clever writing.
Ross and Rachel.
But so that's hers. The other ones. So there's Raj. There's the other guy with the big teeth, and then there's the guy with the glasses. I don't know.
You mean Jewish guy, the super Jewish guy?
Oh, I fucking know.
Can we get the name of the cast?
There's Raj, which is the Asian one.
Yeah.
There's the guy with the big teeth who's got like the bob haircut.
Who's Jewish as fuck?
Right. Okay.
Super
and then there's
Jewish.
the other one who's meant to be the main character.
Sheldon.
No, the other one.
Leonard. That guy. I will say that guy does piss me off.
They are basically their storyline is, aren't we massive nerds? Yay! Throw it in your face. And it's just complete.
What's
drivel.
their voices? Have you noticed their voices are extremely irritating?
and they try and do that very stereotypical nerd thing, don't they? Like, oh, this is what all nerds are like. This is what all geeks are like. You must be like us to like the sort of stuff that we like. You must be like us to like Game of Thrones, to like Star Wars, to like Star Trek, because they're big Trekkies, aren't they, in it as well?
Yeah, Blade Runner as well.
Yeah,
they love
one of the
Blade
most
Runner.
overrated films of all time.
That's your opinion.
And so that's basically their character development throughout the whole thing. They're nerds, yay. And then you get to Sheldon. I'm pretty sure I saw like a list. It might have been in one of like a magazine or something, or it might have been an internet video, and it was about how Sheldon's one of the most influential and clever characters of all time. It's like, how? Again, I go back to the point. Every joke that he cracks is basically they use elongated words because he's a nerd, so he must try and speak a little bit more cleverly than the rest of them.
We'll say
he just used big words to get across a sentence which should take 2 seconds to say.
His I will say that actor is doing quite well for himself compared to the others.
Don't care.
So, but
again, pretty much the butt of his jokes are, here's this show, isn't it funny?
The butt of his jokes also is
writing.
It's that he's got a disability of the fact that he's basically exceptionally socially awkward. It's, the butt of the joke is that because he's got
and again
some form of I think he must be on the spectrum of autism. I think the portrayal of the character is. It's like that's the butt of the joke. It's like you're all taking a joke, making a joke about somebody.
You're poking fun at a disability.
Yeah,
which is essentially what they kind of do in that.
Yeah, it's not fun.
But it's just like, whereas there has been shows before where they do sort of use the disability as a joke, but they do it in a clever way. I'll give you an example. Aussie comedian Jim Jeffries, he had a show, and he had DJ what's his face play his I think his disabled brother in it.
DJ Khaled? DJ...
No, I can't remember. He's like the really skinny guy.
Dead Mouse.
What?
Dead Mouse is a DJ.
No, I'm not. No, his actual name is DJ.
Oh.
It's DJ something.
You want about Breaking Bad?
What? He is in Breaking Bad for an episode.
A skinny guy.
Yeah, he's
super skinny.
Super skinny. He was in... Yeah.
No, I don't.
I'm going to Google it.
Is he white? Black?
He's white. He's one of those actors, you'll know him when you see his face.
Guys,
let
us know in the comments below.
Yeah, please do, because I haven't got a fucking clue who this cunt is.
He plays Garth in Supernatural.
Plays Garth in Supernatural.
Yes.
You love Supernatural, and I don't, so I haven't got a clue. Other movie roles or TV roles?
Huh?
Any other movie or TV roles?
DJ Quails. That's
Never heard of him.
DJ,
you show me a photo.
You will know.
I recognise the name.
Can you show me a photo when you get a chance?
Yes, because he was in.
Oh fuck! That unskinny motherfucker.
Yeah.
I like how you're trying to show it.
What's the Jim Jeffries TV show called?
That's literally what I was on about.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't listening. What's it called?
End of the World or something like that.
The show's called.
It's like End of the World.
No, it's not.
Oh, I thought it was.
But yeah, and like I say, they use that. That's clever writing in that show, isn't it? They use the disability not only to have a few jokes surrounding it and to play off, but they actually kind of raise awareness a bit for it as well in the show. Whereas in the Big Bang Theory, it's just like, ha, he's socially awkward. Isn't it funny? Isn't it grand?
They all. It's like a joke at his expense.
Yeah, it's always at
that.
his expense.
It was called Legit.
Legit, that's the one.
Jim Jeffries did a show called Legit.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good... I wouldn't have called it that. But
No, it was a great show.
It was.
I just don't think the name of the show
Jim
is pretty
Jeffries
good.
is fantastic.
Oh, he is good.
Yeah,
it's like, the guy who's he does the last leg.
Yep.
The Channel 4...
the Aussie guy.
Yeah, the Aussie guy who doesn't have a leg. He has a missing leg. That's
Yeah.
That's the joke of the name of the show. And then there's another guy on it who there's another comedian. Could you just go on the last leg and go on the comedians?
Oh, is that the guy?
It?
Is the I can't remember I can't pronounce the actual thing that he's got. The other comedian.
Yeah, the other comedian who has I think it's a birth defect.
Is it a birth defect?
His arms haven't fully deformed.
Right.
Fully
Okay.
formed.
I thought there was an actual condition.
I've forgotten the name of that
Is it?
condition.
It's like
No, you're thinking of phlebotomy, but I think.
Is it phledomite?
Could you just bring it up, Josh, when you get?
It's a hard. I know it's a weird.
I've met that comedian.
Oh really?
He's on he was on a Virgin train to London.
No.
And he.
Nice guy.
He was alright actually. It was quite funny because on that train, have you got the name for the comedian? On the last leg.
Give me a sec.
You got the main guy who's Australian.
So there's Adam Hills, who's the Australian.
That's the Aussie one. Yeah.
Josh Widdicombe.
Yeah.
And Alex Brooker.
Alex Brooker. And do we know what disability Alex Brooker has?
No.
Could you find that out and then let us know so we can actually say what the disability is rather than just referring to it as a disability because it's not very fair.
Yes.
But I met that guy on a train. I was sat behind him basically, and what ended up happening was it was a packed train and it was a delayed. Another train had been cancelled, so he'd sat down, and then what ended up happening was a guy whose actually seat that was with a ticket came along and went, "Oh mate, that's my seat," and then he stood up, and then the guy saw that he had the birth defects with his arms, and he went, "No, mate, no, it's all right. You can sit down. Don't worry. I'm not going to make a disabled person move." And he was like, "Nah, mate, it's good. I'm fine. I can move my bag. I'm not that bad. I'm totally fine. He's like, no, mate, no. He's like, the guy, this is a young guy panicking like, fuck. He was like, and then he sat down, and then the comedian guy started chatting up the girl next to him that he was sat with. And I mean, he was smooth as fuck. He gave her a card and everything. He was like, hey, when you get down to London, you're free, just give me a call. We'll see if we can go for a coffee or, whatever. I was like, damn, that guy is smooth as fuck. But they make a joke about their own disability, or they make a joke about stuff
that
happens
it's
to
like,
them.
own it.
And they own that shit, whilst poor old fucking Sheldon, he's the butt of the joke. Everyone makes fun of him, and it almost seems like nobody likes him, but they do love him in some foibelistic way.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the Big Bang Theory. It's a whole fucked up entire thing. Do I think it's worse than Everybody Loves Raymond? No. Completely no, because at least with that stuff, at least with the Big Bang Theory, they put a lot of effort into it. They put a lot of effort into the Big Bang Theory. They do.
In what way? Please explain that to me.
Example: Amy, who was Sheldon's girlfriend.
Fuck knows.
The nerdy-looking girl, not the blonde one, the dark-haired one with the glasses. I think she's called Amy. She used to be a consultant for the show to do with all of the science stuff. So whenever they needed to do any science talking, they would consult her. And then eventually it got to the point where they brought her onto the show because she was that good of it.
Yeah, she's got like a PhD in something. I can't remember what it is, but
yeah. They brought her on because of because she has a lot of the skills they needed. So they put a lot of effort and research into
these
it.
Supposedly incredibly smart people, and yet the writing's just like the complete opposite.
Well, there we go. Do we find out what disability that poor chap got?
It just says birth defects.
It's just a birth defect.
Right.
I don't know if it's related to. There's a thing back in the 70s where women would take an anti. Pregnancy sickness thing, and that actually turned out to give birth defects to children.
Yep.
I don't know if it's related to that. It could just be a normal, just a regular birth defect. But basically, yeah, it's to go back to The Last Leg. Very good comedy show. Josh Widdicombe smashed it out of the fucking park. A fellow Devoner, because I'm from Devon, and he's absolutely fantastic in that.
To be honest, you're from all over.
I am from all over. I can say that for people from fucking Scotland, Ireland. Yorkshire and Devon, so I can get away with a lot of shit. If only I was from like other countries, I could really get away with some shit. But obviously, I can't because Devon.
But what I will say, so your whole reasoning
Devon
for hating Everybody Loves Raymond.
I didn't even get onto that bit yet. I was going to say the effort.
You mentioned it.
I want to say. I just wanted to say
the
effort that went into the Big Bang Theory is more. There's way more. The effort that's gone into the fucking to Everybody Loves Raymond, I genuinely believe there's nowhere near as much effort went into that show as there could have been.
Do you know how much Ray Romano got paid per episode?
No.
$2 million.
No!
He was the highest paid TV actor at the time.
$2 million. Back then, $2 million is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, $2 million is a shit ton. $2 million per episode? What the fuck were they... How do they afford that?
Apparently had a massive budget.
Well, they fucking blew it on nothing.
Well, they must have had a big following because it lasted 9 seasons.
Yep.
Good for that. It's Big Bang Theory. How long has that been going for?
10 seasons.
It's almost like people who peddle shit know how to peddle it and make sure people watch it.
Yeah.
It's almost like
no matter
that's how
how
it goes.
Fucking terrible the content is.
They tried doing the spin-off for Everybody Loves Raymond with the brother.
Yes, Robert.
Yeah. Yes, they did. That
spin-offs very rarely take off, though.
Absolutely fucking terrible. That was the worst TV show I've possibly watched.
Your whole thing for hating Everybody Loves Raymond is that you actually used to love it.
It's
just that
love.
Because it woke you up every morning
it's not
for however many years whilst you were at school.
It's not because it woke
and
me
it was
up.
nothing that
it's a personal
associated with waking up, because let's face it, that's actually a thing. They say don't put a song that you like on as your alarm for in the morning, because you will slowly grow to resent that song. Because you associate it with waking up,
so which
nobody wants to wake up in the morning to go to work. So basically, or school. So your resentment for Everybody Loves Raymond has grown out of basically you associating it with waking up. Nothing to actually do with the content and the quality of the program.
I don't know. The quality is pretty poor, mate.
I don't know.
I
think you'd find a lot of people that would disagree. It's quality content. It's very... And you can't say this about Everybody Loves Raymond. The writing is actually very, very clever.
Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example?
God, it's been so long since I watched it.
Exactly. don't remember any of that shit, do you?
Yeah, I remember quite a few bits.
I remember very little of that shit.
I particularly remember one of the episodes about Robert when he was thinking he was gay. and it was actually
Lord.
very, very cleverly done. He had a lot of doubts about it because he was struggling at the time. And it actually went into quite a lot of detail about PTSD because of Robert. I know it came out of a very, very comical and out there situation where Robert actually ends up getting gored by a bull whilst he's on duty because a bull escapes from a petting zoo or something. Yeah,
I don't remember
and he
this
actually
episode.
goes into the PTSD about it when he actually goes to get back on the streets.
I do not remember this episode, guys. I'm really sorry. He gets gored by a bull.
Yeah.
This is the stupidest fucking episode I've heard in my life.
I remembered something happened to him, and I was thinking car crash, or was he stabbed?
I think there was something.
Was he stabbed at one point?
I think he was stabbed at one point as well. Yeah.
He's the real hero of that family, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
When you really think about it.
You
Raymond,
just contradicted yourself there.
Raymond, right? Raymond is a little bitch. He's a little fucking bitch. He just writes some words in a sports magazine. That's all he fucking does.
I think Robert and the dad are the best characters.
Oh yeah, Robert and the dad are the best characters without a doubt.
I hate every single one of those motherfuckers. If somebody went, we're going to execute them now. We have a gun here for you, Simon. Who would you execute first? I kind of don't know if I could do Raymond first. I definitely want to save him for like mid to last. But I definitely, I'd go for straight away.
If you're on about the characters,
Yeah, the characters.
you'd want to do the mum last.
No, because I don't.
What you'd do is you'd line them up, and then you'd have Deborah, his wife, and then his mum last. And then what you do is you go by him one by one, so his mum gets to watch them all die. And then when it gets to Deborah, you'd go, nope, she's surviving, and then kill them.
That's dark as fuck. That's dark as fuck. No, I'd go for, if I had to first one on flinch instinct, I'd just kill the dad straight away. Dad goes first.
Why?
Because I want them to know I'm serious. And also, I don't give a fuck about the dad. Then it goes, this is really dark, guys, I'm really sorry. Then it would probably go to the...
Yeah, why are we doing this?
I'd go to Raymond's wife.
Oh, we're asking you the same question afterwards.
Oh yeah, who would you kill? Who would you kill? What's your killing order? It's not kiss, marry, kill. It's who would you kill?
It's just kill.
It's just kill. So I'd go dad, then I'd go Raymond's wife. So that now Raymond really knows what the fuck's going on, and also Rob, because Robert apparently had a crush on Raymond's wife.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I'd go Robert. Then I would try and see if I could kill Raymond and the mum with the same bullet. I'd line them up and then
she'd love that though.
Stick their heads together and blast them in the face. But that's how I.
Young Video Pro.
That's if I had to. If somebody went, you've got the choice of killing not the actresses or actors, but just the characters in this weird make-believe thing. That's how I'd do it. Sam, how would you kill the characters of Big Bang Theory in your order of kill?
Well, Sheldon first.
You go Sheldon first?
I'd go Sheldon first, because I don't discriminate. And because I fucking hate that character so much.
I know it's dark, and for anyone who thinks...
I absolutely hate that character. But to be fair, I hate the character because of the way that everyone describes him about being this fucking clever, amazing character, and it's just not.
So would you kill him?
It would just be pure blind rage that would make me go for him
Okay, you
first.
go for him first because you want to make sure that if anyone stops you, at least you got Sheldon.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's kind of my thing with killing the dad first, because then I know that the rest of the family are fucked for the rest of their lives.
So where does young Sheldon fit into this? Young Sheldon.
Well, I hate kids, so if it was young Sheldon there, then yeah, straight away.
Line them up. like the scene out of Schindler's List.
Sam Carter. I'm leaving. I quit.
I know this is dark, guys. I know this is dark, but if I'm honest,
and then
you've all got this thing. Now, I will say, everyone probably has had this thought in their head, not to do with the character, not to do with these characters,
to do with the characters,
but to do with people where you
the
think
people that are actually acting, they're just earning a living.
I wouldn't mind.
I tell
pushing
you what, I hate the show so much, but I've said before on the podcast, my big thing is I've always wanted to be an actor. If the Big Bang Theory producers came along and went, we'll give you a reoccurring show and we'll pay you this much, I'd be like, a reoccurring spot on the show, I'd be like, yeah, sell out.
And then you get your first paycheck, and then you strangle Sheldon first.
Yep, exactly.
To take his power.
Yeah, but then with the rest of them, it's just like,
all right, next
honestly
person you
don't
kill.
care enough about them to be bothered about which order I killed them in. I probably would just leave, like, I probably just wouldn't even bother killing the women on the show, because they're
Interesting.
You know,
Interesting. I didn't give a fuck. I was like,
no, not in a way.
It's just children.
It's just because, like, the character, like I say, the character of Penny, she's just there because, you know, her whole thing is she's not exactly harming anyone. There's not exactly any three dimensions. There's no dimensions to her character. The one that has the most dimensions to the character is actually Sheldon's girlfriend, I think.
Yeah, and she's also got some...
And she's actually...
she has raw talent as well when it comes to
and
knowledge.
she's the most tolerable character in the whole thing. So I just wouldn't care. I just leave them.
See, this is where...
But the other three, I honestly don't care enough to have an order. I would just bang, bang, bang.
York Video Pro.
See, this is where...
What's the other guy's girlfriend called? The one that's got a really high voice. I don't have a... I forgot she even existed until I just thought about it for that second. But I would kill her because her voice is really fucking
You mean
annoying.
the actual dime piece of the entire show?
Yeah, she is.
She is actually quite a good-looking young lady.
She is very, very...
When I say young lady, she is older than I am. So,
yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
But she is a good-looking woman.
Yes.
There we go. That's quite a polite way of putting it, isn't it? There we go.
But I would kill her just for her annoyingly high voice.
I don't know. She puts that voice on, you know.
Yeah,
it's not her actual voice.
Exactly. That's the character.
That's the character. Yeah.
I'm not on about the actress. I wouldn't kill the actress.
Tell you who I would kill in that show. The Jewish guy's mum.
I don't even know who that is.
I can't even tell you who the Jewish guy is. Fucking. I don't even know his name.
I am also going to take this.
Is it Howard? It's Howard's mum. I'd kill Howard's mum.
I am also going to take this little moment here to further enrage the viewers and say that it was actually a toss-up for me picking The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory does just take it, but my other choice would have been How I Met Your Mother. Ooh. Terrible.
Now, what I will say,
but do you know what the saving grace for How I Met Your Mother is? And we all know it. It's Neil Patrick Harris. That guy, that guy's back must be hurting so much for carrying that show for however long it fucking lasted.
Oh, okay.
He's the Sheldon of How I Met Your Mother.
Pardon?
He's the Sheldon of How I Met Your Mother.
He's not.
No. As in, he's the one who ended. He's not the main character, but he is the main character. Does that make sense?
Oh, right, okay.
Because Ted is meant to be the main character.
Yeah, basically, he stole the show.
Ted is a throwaway character.
Yeah.
Ted is a throw.
Is that his name? I don't
Ted.
fucking know.
Yeah.
Is it Mosby? Ted Mosby?
Ted Mosby.
Oh,
he is literally a throwaway character.
I did know something about
in that entire thing where he talks about everyone else. But himself.
And shout out to Neil Patrick Harris because he is the only person who could do this. A gay man in real life
plays a womanizer,
and you would just not even have a second hesitation about believing that in his character.
Also, he looks after himself, doesn't he?
Yeah?
He looks after himself. You seen him shirtless? Not bad.
Oh, is he ripped?
He's not super ripped. He's not like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger ripped.
Well,
but that's because Arnold Schwarzenegger was on all the drugs, and he admits that. But Neil Patrick Harris looks after himself. Yeah. He doesn't let himself slip, unlike some of the people on that show.
So just shout out to Neil Patrick Harris for no particular reason there, other than just being purely awesome.
I will say, hang on, you're a Buffy lover.
Yep.
He was in Buffy. Yeah.
He was, yeah.
Also, who else was in Buffy?
Quite a lot of people.
The ginger girl.
Alison Hannigan.
And Alison Hannigan, yeah.
She was the witch girl?
Yeah, she was Willow.
Yeah. Who she was.
There's actually a lot of... Amy Adams was in Buffy.
Hey, which one's Amy Adams, sorry?
Lois Lane in DC EU.
Pam in Office?
No, not Pam in The Office. No.
What character?
Amy Adams.
Amy Adams, yeah.
Which one's Amy Adams? Sorry, guys.
She is in The Office, but she's not Pam. She plays one of Jim's girlfriends in the earlier seasons. Pam is Jenna Fisher.
Who's Amy Adams? Sorry, I really don't know who this is.
Lois Lane in in Batman vs Superman and all that.
Adams.
Oh fuck!
She was in Buffy.
She's a good.
No, Amy Adams did not play Pam. Jenna Fisher played Pam.
We've got a goddamn computer, gentlemen. Let's figure this shit out. Anyway, back to the thing.
Just another one. Pedro Pascal was in Buffy for an episode. Who played Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones.
Ooh. He's a sexy man.
He's quality. I love Pedro Pascal. He's brilliant. He's a very underrated actor.
He's a sexy man. He's a sexy man.
Yeah, loads of cameos in Buffy.
Yeah.
Absolutely loads.
But to go back to Big Bang Theory, I think.
Right.
Thank you.
There we go. That's it. Sorted. There we go. To go back to Big Bang Theory, though, this is where I think I have a lot of strength in my argument, because I actually can say with absolute certainty of pre-planning nature that I would kill all of the cast if I had the opportunity.
No, you wouldn't kill the cast. You'd kill the characters.
Oh, fuck it. Who cares? If it accidentally slips, whatever. No, the characters. Yes, thank you for correcting me. The characters, I would absolutely exterminate them off of the face of their universe. I couldn't stand to have them
rage.
Blind rage is fine.
Blind rage, but mine is literally. I just don't give the characters. The characters are that bad. The characters in The Big Bang Theory are that bad. They're just not even worth the effort of going to murder them.
But the thing is, it's not like the ones in Raymond are good. It's not like any character in Raymond are. Everyone loves Raymond is good. I completely
disagree there. Raymond is a good character.
No, he's not.
Because he is a whiny little bitch.
He's a terrible
and
person.
It's because of his mother that has made him that way. And you even admitted that the actress does a wonderful job in making you hate her. And that's what it's about. That's why it's good. That's why it's clever. That's why it's funny. Raymond is a product of his mother's overbearingness, and Robert, as a product of that, becomes very, very bitter. And then it all ties in, because then you've got, the dad who just is literally there, he knows and he says, stop smothering him. But at the same time is also like, but also I don't give a fuck, I just want pie. And then you've got the wife, Deborah, who comes in, who also kind of wants to be overbearing on Raymond. And that causes the conflict between them and the mother. It's great.
No, it's not great. It's
good.
There's no greatness.
It's good writing.
There's no goodness.
It all ties in. No. There's a reason. There's motivation behind every single thing that goes on in that show. The Big Bang Theory, on the other hand, you can't say that. The motivation is, what nerdy thing can we say today? Battlegate, Star, Galactic inconventions. Yay! It's funny, isn't it? Come on, audience, laugh!
I think our listeners just blew their fucking eardrums out if they're wearing headphones. The thing about...
and actually, here's a good one.
Go on.
When you've watched Everybody Loves Raymond, you can admit you have laughed.
I have, yeah, but this is the thing, mate.
You have laughed at that show.
I've also laughed at The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And this is one thing I can honestly say, right? Honestly, I have watched several episodes of The Big Bang Theory because everyone raved about it and told me that I'd absolutely love it, that I should just sit down and watch it. I'll be in stitches. I have literally not laughed once at The Big Bang Theory.
I gave it a little. I think I gave it a little laugh.
Not even a little. Yeah, that was good.
One of the...
Not even that.
The lift being always broken.
And do you know what?
That was the one bit I laughed at, I think.
There was actually... I'm going to throw this out there, another controversial statement. I've not laughed, not even a little chuckle at The Big Bang Theory, yet the Ghostbusters 2016, I even, one point in it went,
Still haven't seen that.
You don't want to. I've watched it. I wasn't too enamored by it.
It's pretty terrible.
Big Bang Theory is worse than Ghostbusters 2016.
I was hoping more from Ghostbusters. The reason why I don't enjoy it, I have a special place in hell for Everybody Loves Raymond, is the storylines inside of it were so throwaway and pointless that I couldn't get behind any of it. Like, I couldn't get into any of the stories because I'm struggling to have like a big story arc for like somebody like trying to make a successful business, or somebody trying to do something like really definitive. Like, a lot of it was just basically repetition. A lot of repetition. I would say that's a problem that Big Bang Theory has as well. But Everybody Loves Raymond, it's a very repetitive thing, of where Raymond's sitting at home, his wife comes in, his wife complains to him about his mother, then his mother comes in, complains to him about his wife, and then Robert's jealous in some manner. And that's it. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, the repetition of that story. And I know that's probably because they're trying to be like, this is what real life is. And I can kind of understand. I kind of get that. But it's the repetition of it being every fucking show.
And that's the same with the Big Bang Theory. I can't actually think of any particular storyline in the Big Bang Theory.
How much of it have you watched?
Huh?
How much of it have you watched?
Probably something that equates to about a season and a half, maybe 2 seasons.
Okay. Yeah, there's not really an overarching storyline with...
In any of it, like, but even in the episodes just themselves, I'm like, what?
At least in, like, something like Friends had a storyline where you had, like, Ross and Rachel.
Yeah.
Or you had...
Chandler and Monica.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Chandler and Monica. Or you had... I think those are the main storylines, really, aren't they?
Yeah, then you had Phoebe and Mike later on. Joey's quest to become an actor.
Yeah. You had big ones that spanned entire episodes and over series. Mm-hmm. Everybody Loves Raymond doesn't have anything like that. Nothing like that. It's like kind of like, you know, Frasier. It's a similar sort of setup.
Yeah.
It's where it's an extremely repetitive thing. It's almost like the writers were like, "Fuck, we're out. We're done. This is it. This is the show. We see how far we can churn this out, and then we see when we get cancelled." And they got cancelled at series 9. It's like, it's a powerhouse, but then people are like, well, we'll just stop it now. There's no point in continuing. It's like there's other shows that's happened with where it's become stagnant and that's it. The Big Bang Theory, if somehow they're able to keep going, I think they're going to get probably to like 12 series.
Again, do you know why the Big Bang Theory keeps going? It's sort of like, I think there are a couple of factors into it. I think it's because people nowadays, a lot of people do this thing where even if they don't actually like the show, they just want to watch it to be seen watching it.
Yes, I get what you mean.
Because they think popular. It's cool and it's popular.
It's like wearing Supreme t-shirts.
Yeah, and there's another one where it's like, and this is a big thing. This actually goes hand in hand kind of with The Walking Dead. They've put so much time into their life watching it, they just feel like they have to keep going. Despite I actually do that with The Walking Dead. I fucking hate The Walking Dead, but I still watch it.
I feel that with The Walking Dead as
well.
Yeah.
and it's just like, I think people do that with The Big Bang Theory.
Because with Walking Dead, at least I love the comics.
Yeah. Yeah,
I started reading the comics. Do you know what
they've got video games. They've got another season. They've got another series that came out, which is like Fear the Walking Dead. I mean, they brought, I'm not saying it's good. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they expanded the universe and made it bigger. Could you do that with Big Bang Theory? Well, they tried with that little spin-off thing. I think it was Sheldon.
Young Sheldon or something like that.
Yeah, fuck that. Then burn that to the ground. But they tried that with fucking Everybody Loves Raymond and their brother Robert. And
they tried it with Friends and Joey.
Burn that to the ground. As we said previously, I think you said that Joey could be considered the worst sitcom in the world. What I just say is it's the most disappointing.
Yeah.
It's not the worst, it's just the most disappointing.
Yeah. At least the Joey spin-off did have some good moments in it. It wasn't great.
His sister was an interesting character, I thought.
But the impacts that it didn't have any impact on Friends. Not one bit.
I think that's what people
didn't even dent the reputation of Friends. People just sort of went, I love Friends that much. I'm just gonna, if I really hate Joey that much, I'm just gonna be blissfully unaware that it exists.
It didn't, and it kind of put a dent in Matt LeBlanc's career. But now Matt LeBlanc has come back as a big resurgence. Actually, big resurgence where he's done. He
did episodes.
Oh, that was such a good comedy series. But in Top Gear, he's doing really well. He's doing a really good job. He's doing better than people like Chris Evans, who they thought was going to be a good step up, and like the new Jeremy Clarkson. That's who they thought he was going to be, but he's not. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll round off our argument now. Everybody Loves Raymond is the worst sitcom ever because, and these are my 2 or 3 points I'll say just to round this off. One, as I've said quite recently, the repetitive nature of the show. It's basically the same story almost every single show about a jealous brother to a mollycoddled main son who has a wife that doesn't shut the fuck up. And that's it. There's not much depth after that. And then my second argument is that the characters themselves are possibly the most infuriating characters you possibly could come across, of a mother who is overbearing, domineering, and manipulative. A pussy of a main character. Because the main thing you want in any sort of character story is you want the main character to be like Superman. You want a character to be brilliant, to be exciting, to be engaging.
Am I weird?
Yes, you are.
Because whenever I watch something, I actually like my main characters to have a lot of flaws.
Flaws is different to pathetic.
That's what made Breaking Bad so good.
Flaws is different to pathetic, whilst Raymond's pathetic. So Raymond is a pathetic, meek little bitch. Robert is a jealous. But he's the jealous hero because he's a police officer who has his own life separate that he could live and be successful and not even worry about the rest of his family, and he could be amazing, but he's not. He's a jealous little bitch. Again, his wife, Raymond's wife, is basically just a younger version of his mother, but is exceptionally like bitter and angry with the mother, even though she barely fucking knows her. Even though they're probably so similar, that's the reason why they butt heads with each other. It's the fact that all these characters is just a dysfunctional. It's not a very happy sort of like Friends. The group are made of friends that are all together and they're all friendly and happy and everything. Frasier is that they're a close knit family. There is some dysfunction built into it, but they're all a close knit family that actually cared about each other. Whilst I feel like Everybody Loves Raymond, it's like a one upping of each other. It's like I'm superior to you. Raymond is
actually very, very closer to what real families in real life are.
But then you don't want...
Or is that just my experience?
You don't want that from a sitcom. You don't want a one-upmanship kind of I'm better than you thing in a sitcom. You want a family that is funny. And I don't think there's a family... They're not a funny family in that. There's no one who stands out as like a... Home Improvement with the stand-up comedian I've forgotten the name of.
Oh, Larry David. Is it Larry David?
No, it's not. Home Improvement
Curb Your Enthusiasm,
with...
isn't it?
Tim Robbins?
Can you just quickly Google Home Improvement? Is it Tim something?
The guy
he does the voice.
Buzz Lightyear.
He does the voiceover for it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Is it Tim?
No.
It's not, is
No?
it?
No.
But the guy in that, his thing is like he's the typical American kind of. He shows like how to build stuff, and his entire family life is great, and the stories evolve from like his family. Tim Allen, thank you.
It, yeah, he did the voice of Buzz Lightyear, didn't he? Yeah.
But Tim Allen is like, and I look at these people.
He's a cocaine dealer.
What?
Tim Allen used to be an ex-cocaine dealer. Wow,
Really?
That's an interesting storyline. But anyway, before I'll ask you about that later. You've got people who are brilliant outside of acting and are brilliant stand-up comedians. In fact, fantastic stand-up comedians. Like Tim Allen used to be a flipping high-level stand-up comedian. Now he doesn't need to.
No.
I don't think any of those guys are in Everybody Loves Raymond is a proper...
Ray Romano's huge.
But is he still?
Yeah.
Is he still one? I don't know
Still
about
makes
that.
a lot of money.
I don't know. Just because he makes money doesn't mean I'm like, oh, that's great. It's like...
Yeah, but...
It's like Kevin Hart is a mastermind of comedy, and he's doing films, and he's doing TV, and he's got his own clothing line.
Because Ray Romano's in like every Ice Age that they bring out.
Is he in Ice Age?
Yeah.
What's the mammoth?
Yeah.
Manny.
That's why I don't like Ice Age. That's why I don't like Ice Age either. But the characters of Everybody Loves Raymond are just the most draining characters I've ever come across in my entire life. They're not fun. A sitcom should make you laugh and make you feel fun. What it makes me feel anxious and makes me feel like it just makes me feel angry at those characters. It doesn't make me laugh. I don't go into school. I didn't go into school, and I still don't now go, oh, remember when Raymond made fun of his brother for his eating disorder?
Well, it'd be a bit strange if you went into a school now.
Yeah, it would be. I'd get kicked out for looking like a paedophile. But yeah, that's my argument. That is my two-prong argument there. Sam, what is your...
Okay, well, I'm going to go in with the Big Bang Theory.
Well, I hope you would, because that's your main debate.
Yep. Okay, so just right off the bat, again, I've reiterated it so many times. The jokes aren't clever. The writing's not clever. It's just not funny in any way, shape, or form. You take out that laughing track, it's actually really uncomfortable to watch, and it makes you feel physically uncomfortable to watch.
You took the laughing track out of Everybody Loves Raymond.
Again, live studio audience.
Probably been done, yeah.
Was it a live studio audience?
Yeah, they always used to do live studio audiences.
Why the
modern
fuck?
days just do laughing track.
Fresh Prince,
live studio audience.
Why the fuck would anyone laugh at that show?
You used to.
And then it turned into hate.
There's no character development in it at all. You could literally go into an episode in the first season and then miraculously skip into the 9th season, and you wouldn't have a fucking clue.
But that's the same
that
for
you
everybody else,
skipped.
Raymond.
No, I wouldn't. I think there is character
I
development.
don't think there's character development in that whatsoever.
It's just a poor example of a TV show. It glorifies this stereotype of the modern day geek nerd type of thing, which is just entirely untrue. Like I say, the butt of a lot of the jokes are aimed at Sheldon's disability, which is just plain wrong.
It's quite dark.
It's
quite dark.
It's a horrible.
I will say I'm well with you on that one, on that argument.
It's got this cult following for some unknown reason, and even the people that like the show can't actually explain why it's good. I've actually asked people, why do you like it? And they're just like, oh, it's just...
Do you think Chuck Lorre knows? Do you think Chuck Lorre knows why it's so good? I bet he doesn't have a fucking clue.
I bet he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. That's why he was able to tell Charlie Sheen to fuck off and didn't give a fuck.
I think it's just, geek culture is quite popular these days, so...
Yeah, but it's the way they do
but it's not
geek culture.
Yeah, it's the way you do it, and it's not proper geek culture.
They make it look like it's diminutive, like it's not a proper part of culture, like it's a subculture that's like should be shunned.
Yeah.
But in actuality, geek culture is popular now.
Yeah.
You have geeks. I'll give you an example of this. You have geeks who are into boxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling. Like you have
two of them right in front of you.
People who are into that shit are like into sporty stuff a lot of the time.
I suppose it is. I suppose a lot of my hate for The Big Bang Theory.
You what?
This is what Jay Furness said in the interview.
Yeah, he did say that, Jason.
Yeah, he did,
But if you go back to episode, what was it? Oh God.
Is it
18?
18, 19?
Something like that, 18 or 19. And Jason Furness was literally like, we've got guys who are massively into like comic books, into science fiction shit. And you look at like some of the greatest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu players now, like if you go to the EBIs, so Eddie Bravo Invitationals, the guys who are there, they're IT guys. They look a bit nerdy, they wear glasses, but all they are interested in is extreme problem solving. And the extreme problem solving they're doing is, with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is how not to get tapped and how to tap somebody else, how to rip a leg off or rip an arm off or choke somebody unconscious, and that's it. But they love there's guys like Benson Henderson, who I was watching Polaris 6 last night. So Benson Henderson is a massive comic book fan, massive fan. He used to be the ex-UFC lightweight champion of the planet, and he loves comic books, and he wanted to be his own. What was it? He wanted to be his own superhero. He wanted to be in his own comic book, and I think he wanted. And then in his local town, I think he bought a comic book store with his money he earned from it. But that's a guy, and you look at Benson Henderson, he's fucking jacked. He's got a nice ass on him as well, big, nice tushy. Because he's got a big ass. His legs, I was looking at him. He's got some toned ass legs. I was like, imagine if he.
Sometimes I worry that you've got a little bit of a confession to make. Simon.
A little bit. Fuck, I don't care. What the fuck is? If a guy's a good looking chap, I'm going to be like, you're a good looking chap.
Thanks, Simon.
And I say a lot of gay jokes.
Yeah, but you make a lot of gay jokes. There's a difference in gay jokes and gay jokes. Yours are a bit like, you say it to your friends, like, hey, how you doing? Like you're a little bit, and also you're quite touchy feely with your friends. Yeah. Quite like. To the point where you get your kneecaps dislocated by your friends.
That's a bit different, if I'm honest.
Depends how vigorous you're going. York Video Pro, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, sorry I distracted you from your rounding up of the conversation.
That was pretty much it. It's a terrible show in every single way, to the point where even the actual big fans of the show can't explain why it's good. And I think that says all it needs to say.
You know what?
There we go.
You know what sitcom I couldn't get along with?
Go on.
Which people are probably going to hate me for.
Oh, God, here we go. Don't say Friends.
Seinfeld.
Yep, with you there. Not a big fan.
Yeah.
It's not a generation. It's not a generation. We can't find it funny. That sounds bitter, but...
It was literally him overreacting at every little thing.
That's Seinfeld. That's his stand-up.
That's
his stand-up is that.
It's fucking terrible. I just don't understand it. It's like... He can be in a...
I think there's actually a lot of that, though, with the old American sitcoms, which are hailed as the classics. A lot of them are just like obviously we won't fully understand them because it was different times, but I
different
think a
country
lot
as
of them
well.
are very, very overrated. Yeah, different
country.
It's like a lot of the people didn't get the UK version of The Office in America.
Yeah.
They love the US version.
Big problems
And
there
the
with
US
that.
version is great.
It's pretty funny.
Pretty
funny.
I think it's the one example of Americans actually doing a British show better.
Yeah.
The one example. I can't think of any other example. But and I love the UK Office. Ricky Gervais is a fucking genius.
Did you see the American remake of IT Crowd?
No, they didn't do that, did they? They didn't do that.
Joe McHale. Yeah.
They didn't do that.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
It didn't get past the pilot.
No. Shout out to the IT Crowd.
Wow.
That was brilliant.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. And I'm going to put it out there. As someone who works in IT, it's not actually far off. Some of the requests and calls I get, wow, people are stupid.
Well, it's
and I work in IT, and I don't actually know that much about IT. I'll freely admit, a lot of it is just common sense. Yeah. People, this is a funny one. We actually got in the service desk part of my department, at my IT department that I work in, got a call through saying, because we've got offices all over the country, I won't say what company, but we have an office down in London. We're based in York, our part of the company.
Yep.
And someone got a live chat through on the service desk, and they said, "Oh yeah, the toilet's blocked on this floor in London. Can someone come and do something about it?" And we were like, "Contact building maintenance." They're like, "Well, can't you guys do anything?" Like, "No, we're IT. What do you want us to do? Remotely flush it from here?"
My God.
It gets worse.
I've heard some stupid shit, mate. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was our debate of which is the worst sitcom ever. Let's just go ever. Worst sitcom ever.
I think this is going to be a pretty close one.
I think it's very close.
I think Everybody Loves Raymond might be a little bit of a dark horse in that, but I honestly do believe I will win this one. Because I think a lot of people...
Mine is born of personal hatred.
It is,
and that's why I'm so convinced
I think there is
I'm going to win.
quite a lot of fans of Everybody Loves Raymond out there. And you know what the thing is? The Big Bang Theory is still going. It's still quite...
But there's fans of Big Bang Theory still.
Yes.
I don't think there's fans of Everybody Loves Raymond still.
But a lot of hate for Everybody Loves Raymond comes from not liking Ray Romano himself.
It's personal hatred.
It's going to be a very close one.
It's going to be a close one.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
guys,
please go in on our whatever channel if you're listening to this podcast, if you're or watching this podcast, leave some comments and basically just say exactly what you think about the different shows. We want your opinion. We'll do polls again, so we'll do one on Facebook. Yep. We'll do one on Twitter. The main one, if you don't follow us on any of those pages yet, would be Twitter. So just go at @TGD_podcast and give us some love around there. Yeah. We'll do the funny news. Josh, sure. If you want. So the funny news is making a return after the last podcast, as we went on quite a long time about Star Wars versus Star Trek. So yeah, if you quickly could rattle through these.
So I'll pose a question.
Okay.
First. So have you ever wished you could spend a night in a huge anus?
Your video, pro.
Is this a joke?
And, yes, I have.
Ooh, hello. Wait, you have before, or
that's a separate question? I think you'll find. There's no need to answer that, Sam. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm looking out for you, mate. I'm here for you.
Well,
no, Josh is the answer. I would say I wouldn't want to be in a huge anus.
Well, depends how I'm in it.
There's a Dutch artist in Belgium.
Your video, pro.
Can I tell the fucking story?
Okay, come on, Josh. Go on.
So there's a Dutch artist in Belgium that's made a hotel in the shape of an anus.
Oh, please tell me there's a picture.
There is a picture.
Can you show us the picture?
Show us the picture.
Or
do you want to come over here? Because I'm just going to overlay it.
We'll go one by one.
You're going to overlay it? Okay, right. So you have a look first, Sam, and then I can judge your reaction.
It's just in the middle of a field.
It's just in the middle of a field. For no reason.
In the middle of a field.
Oh, no, there's no reason whatsoever. Man, Sam's face is insane. All right. Okay, let's have a look.
It looks like a giant flashlight.
Oh, my God.
No. No, do you know what it does look like?
That is beautiful.
I'll tell you what it does look like. It looks like somebody's had a really bad shit where their intestines have come out. That's what it does. Oh, it's white. Why is it white inside? Surely it be brown. Surely it would be brown, not white, unless it's a poodle having a shit. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Why would you build a hotel like a giant asshole? It's not. I thought it was gonna be a buttocks. I thought it was gonna be like a buttocks with the.
I know what I'm doing
entrance.
for my birthday this year. I'm off to the Anus Hotel.
Is that a metaphor for something?
It's called
Hopefully.
Hotel Casanus.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's called what?
Hotel Casanus.
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 Anyway, right. Let's go to the next story,
That is
mate.
beautiful.
Let's go to the next story.
So,
Oh no. If Josh is laughing, you know it's funny.
a man arranged a picnic to celebrate Henry the Hoover, and 37,000 people wanted to go.
No. Hang on. So when is it? Should we go?
So,
Did they all bring their Hoovers?
this was a student in Cardiff University,
right.
and he asked the
37,000.
council himself
Can I have permission?
if he could have permission to have a gathering to celebrate Henry the Hoover.
Right.
The council said no.
Oh.
They were like, it'd be fine if it was you and like a group of people, but 37,000. Yeah,
It's not going to be
happening, mate.
37,000. It could be like 1,000.
Well, yeah.
Imagine all those Hoovers switched on at the same time. 37,000. It'd be like,
As if the council didn't actually try to capitalise on that and go, yeah, we can set up some stalls and then a fuck ton of money.
yeah, £1 ticket. I've made £37,000.
Yeah.
Obviously, not that many people would turn up.
No.
Yeah,
Probably not.
but even then, even if a couple of thousand people turn up, that's a couple of grand.
And then you turn your place into the tourist hotspot for Henry Hoover appreciators.
Yeah.
Although, here's something, right?
Make it an annual festival.
There's Henry Hoover. There's Herty, I think. Herty?
Something like
Hetty.
that.
Hetty, the Hoover. There's another motherfucker. There's a bigger version.
Okay.
There isn't just those two. There's a big guy.
Is it not just called like Henry Hoover XL?
I don't know what he's
pretty
called. Could you
sure
just
there's one.
do your magic? But
I'm
literally,
a Dyson man.
yeah, it's hard to get behind. I mean, the only reason you're behind a Henry Hoover, to be honest, is because of the face.
Yeah.
He's got a nice little face.
Yeah.
He's got nice little eyes that let you know he likes sucking things up.
There's a George the Hoover.
George? Who the fuck is George? Fuck off. George the Hoover.
I hope that's sponsored by George Foreman. Lean, mean hooving machine.
We'll gobble it all up for you. Oh, Lord. What does it look like, by the way, though, George the
Green.
Hoover?
It's great.
Green? Is it the Hulk? Is it like a giant Hoover?
It just looks like
Is it just
Henry Hoover but green.
He's a...
So you could have a green one called Hulk Hoover, or you
Hulk
could have a
Hoover.
blonde one called Hulk Hoover. Hulk Hogan? Hulk Hoover? Brother! Actually have a material moustache on the front of the Hoover.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
I might
It just-
trademark that.
It just keeps. All it does is every so often it goes, brother. Brother. I love sucking things up, brother. He won a court case to do with somebody airing his sex tape, and he made millions and millions
Brilliant.
of dollars
That's
because
how
of
you do it, Hulk.
That's how you do it, Hulk. You smash.
Yeah, you do.
You're welcome for that one. You're welcome. All right, have we got any more stories?
Yeah, we've got one more.
One more, last one. I hope this
So-
is the best one.
What if you were holding a cheese festival?
Oh.
What would be the main ingredient that you'd need?
Cheese.
Jeez.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Cheddar,
Well-
specifically.
Brighton Cheese Festival ran out of cheese.
Fuck off, Brighton. Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, so is that they had so many people come to eat
No.
all the cheese, or they just didn't order enough?
They were blaming adverse weather conditions.
Okay. So for people who are not from England, we had the Beast from the East, and that's not a lot.
That's not Mickey.
And that's not a lot. That's not a lot of immigrants coming to the country. That is.
It was snow.
It was snow. We're not prepared for it whatsoever. This country does not know how to handle snow. Basically, loads of cold air came from Siberia and interacted with a storm called Storm Emma, which is a terrible name for a storm. I'd like storm like Smasher, Steam, Hulk. This storm is sponsored by Marvel. and it'd be like Thor. There's a lightning storm that flattens half the country.
I
It
doubt
wouldn't be
that'd good
surprising if
PR
Disney
for Marvel.
tried to get the rights to a storm.
Yeah, why not?
Storm
Disney
Disney-
just there laying their dick out on the table saying, let's see what we can actually do with this money.
They probably could send stuff into space and just have it broadcast in the sky.
Just Elon Musk it.
Just Elon Musk the fuck out of it. But yeah, so yeah, we had a shit ton of snow.
It was £22 for a ticket as well.
22 quid.
Oh,
what the
those-
fuck is wrong with
Those
Brighton?
crackers
people
must have
were
been
promised a
dry.
lot of cheese.
I would be mad. I
Yeah.
would have a refund. I would ask for a refund.
Oh, people are. 'Cause
I
they
would
were
kick the
saying
fuck off.
There's maybe about 10 stalls, that's it. Yeah.
I'll tell you, here's something. So Scarborough used to have
Someone's getting fired.
the continental market every month, where basically traders from Europe would come and trade like cheese and meat and sweets and handbags and leather items.
We have a similar
from
one at Christmas, don't we?
yeah,
York,
from European. It's like a European market, continental market, whatever it is, and literally that had an entire all the way down the high street from one end to the other. It had more than that, and it was fucking free. £22. Brighton. Fuck off, Brighton.
So on Twitter, someone posted a photo of my cheesy chips with the caption, "There's more cheese on my chips than in town than at the festival."
Wow, that's bad, mate. It's bad when the kebab shops have more cheese than the cheese festival.
This actually reminds me of when I used to work at a hotel in York.
Yeah.
And quite often, and this is a thing that actually happened on multiple occasions, they ran out of like lemonade or
How do you run out of lemonade?
bananas, just like general stuff that you need for the ingredients that they had on their menu
Yeah.
or / in the bar. And they sent me to Tesco up at Askham Bryan to pick up the things. They ran
Yeah.
out of ice so many times.
How do
and they
you
had a
run-
massive ice machine in the basement.
How do you run it? How do you in
Well-
this day and age? How do you do that?
It's because it was a pretty fucking poorly run hotel.
The
Not
company
anymore.
that
It's better now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's changed.
Oh, it changed hands, didn't it?
Yeah. Anyway.
the
Don't
company
make it
that
worse.
I work for, not York Video Pro, the other one,
Yeah.
that I won't mention.
Yep.
They keep hosting promotions where you get a free gift where you buy so many things, and they never have enough of the free gift, so they always run out after about 5 minutes.
It's almost like they don't know what they're doing. It's almost like they have no fucking clue what to do.
Yep.
But Brighton, how the hell do you run out of cheese? You've got Britain. First of all, Britain makes a fuck ton of cheese.
Yes.
You have some of the greatest cheese in the planet.
Cheese is apparently officially more addictive than cocaine.
No, it isn't.
Apparently so, yeah.
Oh, imagine doing a line of cheese.
Oh, God, yes.
But having to snort cheese.
Well, not snort it.
Imagine having to do it. Imagine somebody powdered it up for you and you had to do it.
Well, Parmesan. You can get powdered Parmesan.
Ah, fucking cheese it.
I saw a meme the other day and it was just like, cheese has holes. The more cheese you get, the less cheese you get.
It's a paradox.
Totally blew my mind.
Yeah.
I loved a Vine that someone did one time, and it went, "The Wheel of Truth," and he just put this holy cheese down in a newspaper, and it went, "Immigrants cause cancer."
That's quite good. That's quite good. I will say, people in Britain love cheese when there is an entire cheese rolling festival where they roll a cheese wheel down a hill in Nottingham and
Yes.
goths go and chase it.
I need to go to this festival.
To be honest, do you know how much that cheese is worth? That wheel of cheese?
Go on.
$5,000.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
And it's a big old wheel because people get hit by it sometimes. And it's nice in one video where it bounces. A guy who sees it, he moves slightly to be like, "Oh, it's just going to keep rolling." Doesn't roll. It bounces up and it goes boom and slams wheel on his face. And you see his head, like where? Did you see? The clip of where Anthony Joshua uppercutted Klitschko and his head almost got ripped off his shoulders.
So
It just went, "Oh no!"
What a way to go, though.
does the wheel break apart or does it just keep on
No,
going?
It keeps on going. It's because it's wrapped up in. Obviously, you've got the wax to
Yeah.
hold it together, but then it's got like a plastic wrap around it to keep it from splitting apart. So obviously, the internals of it are probably getting mashed to fuck. But
I mean-
it's kept in a bag.
I just imagine the scene in Friends where like Monica gets her head stuck in a turkey. There's just a walking wheel of cheese.
No, it would take. I think it just bounces off
alive!
shit. It just bounces off shit. Goes all over the place. It's insane.
We actually did a sort
Goes
of
all
little
over.
cheese fest at work where because we used to put on loads of spreads and stuff like
Yeah.
when it was birthdays and things like that, and then one day decided that we all started talking about our love of cheese. So we went, right, let's everyone bring 2 cheeses in and something to have with the cheese. So crackers or some of the little crispy bacon bits or something or whatever, crisps,
Pickle.
whatever.
Chutney.
People
Chutney.
brought people brought that sort of stuff in. And
This is turning into another food podcast.
and we were like, we were just like, this is a great idea. This is brilliant. And we all did it, and we brought it all in. And there was this massive amount of cheese on the table. It was absolutely beautiful. It was like we had like chili brie, charcoal cheese.
Charcoal cheese.
Charcoal
That's
cheese is actually surprisingly very, very
Smoked
nice.
cheese.
Smoked cheese is my favourite,
Sounds
without
so
a
good.
doubt. So much stuff, and we're like, this is great. This is absolutely brilliant. Fast forward to about half an hour later, where we're all sat at our desk going.
You just farted like fuck.
From both ends.
So
Who thought of this? Totally worth it in every way.
let's wrap this.
So I was in town yesterday, and M&S are doing the dining for £10 deal.
That's
yes.
filth. That is filth.
So it got to the desserts, and I'm texting my girlfriend like what they have, and I had a cheese selection. So I was like, "Should we get this?" And she was just like, "Well, yes, of course."
She loves it. Your girlfriend loves a bit of cheese.
Not that you're aware.
Schmegma.
Oh. I was just saying it in general, like, then made the joke. But I meant it. Your girlfriend actually is a big fan of cheese.
Oh yes.
In the non-rude way.
And that's what we could do in our Christmas
mean-
thing that we were talking about before the podcast.
Does the pup shit in the
Yeah.
woods?
Big cheese board later on.
Yeah.
Oh,
We could do we could do another food podcast of which is the best cheese. Because that's a hard debate,
that
though.
is a hard debate.
We are not a food podcast.
Oh, we could be, though.
Comedy food.
Comedy food. Comedy /food. / everybody loves Raymond as shit.
/ shows Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I can get on board with your argument, but
I don't know. It's okay.
No, get out. It's terrible in every
I think
way.
I'm on board with him. I'm with him that it's bad. I don't think it's the worst, though.
Well.
Anyway.
Oh, and also, people, if we have missed something out which you think is the worst
Yeah,
sitcom,
let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Let us
'Cause
know.
we might have
And
missed...
if there are some particular good ones, we'll try to give them a shout out in the next podcast.
Because we never talked about Spanish ones. We only did about English or American ones,
True,
really.
yes, yeah.
I mean, there's probably some terrible Spanish ones or French ones or Swedish or...
Do you not love that when you go on
Chinese
holiday though,
or-
and there's like the whatever shows on, and you don't have a fucking clue what's going on, but they're so low budget. You can tell they're low budget. I did that in Corfu in Greece, and something was on one of the TVs in the restaurants, and I was fascinated by it because it was you could just like every part of the set and everything was so bad. I was like, this is beautiful.
There's some stuff, mate. There
But
is
to
some
be fair,
stuff.
actually,
out
one of
there.
the best things was when I went to Bulgaria and they had Face Off on the TV with
Nicolas Cage
and John Travolta, and they dubbed over their voices,
Yeah.
but still had their English, the English
Subtitle.
no, not the subtitles. The subtitles were in
English
Bulgarian. You could hear the dialogue, the English dialogue, but then it just put the Bulgarian dialogue on top of that.
Brilliant.
I actually had so much fun watching it.
I love it when you go abroad and you just turn the TV on and there's like their like soaps playing.
Oh, they're so funny.
Yeah.
They're so funny where it's like a Spanish one where somebody slaps someone and then they just die.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? How do you kill him with a slap? Then they have to bury the body. Which is, I watched that. It was one where a woman slapped a man in the face. I think it was her husband and he cheated on her, obviously. Because that's all people do. In sitcoms, obviously.
Yep.
And she slapped him. He died somehow. He like fell on a table and smacked his head or something. And then she started carting the body out, and then the boyfriend comes along, and then it pans in on his conflicted face. And you know the bit where Joey goes, where to show the face of when you're...
Smell the fart acting.
No, it's when try to work out what 132 divided by 7 and times by 5 is, and you're going... And it's the man's going like, oh. And then eventually he goes, and then helps her and carries the body out while they wrapped up in a carpet. Fantastic.
Classic.
Love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Wait a minute.
Let's not get involved with that. I'll put the hand down. This has been episode 29. One more and we're done 30.
Yes.
Please let us know
One more in our flirty phase.
in the comment section down below on YouTube and also on our Twitter account at TGT_podcast. What are you doing? Stop being silly. Stop it. Go to our Twitter account at TGD_podcast. Comment, vote on our poll,
share, subscribe
to our
invite your
YouTube
friends
channel.
to like us.
Subscribe to the iTunes channel, please.
We will suck your dicks.
Invite your parents to subscribe. You know.
Invite.
Let's just have one big mass orgy of subscription.
Stop this now.
Orgy sub.
Let's not do this. We're not doing this, all right? I haven't got the time or the will. But ladies and gentlemen,
You know, sub for sub.
what?
Suck dick for sub.
No. No.
Get on that, Simon.
Stop it. There's not going to be a hashtag.
You can suck it.
Me?
You take one.
Why the
for
fuck
the
would
team.
you? Why the fuck would you want a bald guy with a beard sucking your dick?
Okay, Mickey's
might
not here
be
to
into
stick
that.
up for himself, so we'll say Mickey will do it.
Yeah, Mickey will do it. Fuck
Mickey
it.
will do it, yeah.
Mickey will. No, well, we can get him to do a lot of stuff. If you know what I mean.
Again with a gay joke, Simon. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 29 of the Gentleman's Debate podcast. Say goodbye, Josh.
Bye, guys.
Say goodbye, Sam.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me, Simon. Everybody loves Raymond sucks. Goodbye.
Harry sucks.
Bye. All right, we done?
Let's keep on going.
Just you. By the way, I was dying for a piss for that entire